Hello, everyone. What's going on? Just saw the Turkey Tom vid on you. It was a pretty good documentary. You don't sound too good. Are you okay? How was your day? I literally slept since last night's stream. I only just woke up. And I'm pretty goddamn sick. Alright.
I started on YouTube. I started fitness way back in the day. I started lifting weights when I was 16 at the YMCA in California and around San Francisco, Sausalito. My dad got me into weights because he did a lot of weightlifting. So started getting healthy. I was about 150 pounds skinny. I used to get bullied in school, so I had to protect myself. A lot of things. So I started beefing up around 2001, 2002 at Atlantic High School. People used to bully me because of my disabilities and disorders. I used to get made fun of, so I had to get some big size. Like I said, I used to take the pro hormones, the ephedra, all that stuff before it was banned in 2008-ish, 9-ish, 10-ish, whenever it was banned. So I had trouble in school, trouble making friends. I was always good in history and science and, all that stuff. Bad in reading and writing and math. So all my disabilities kind of hindered me. So I kind of defended myself. I was very strong in weightlifting. I used to do weightlifting back at 16 to 18. I graduated school when I was 19, 20, late bloomer. I got on YouTube around July 14, 2008, 2009. Had some great classic moments, had a lot of fans. Unfortunately, over the years, with the Rich Piana incident and all the stuff, I've got a lot of haters.
Have you seen Rick and Morty S7E4? Its message is very poignant to the vegan movement. Also, least anti-Semitic Palestine supporter.
Most slandered man in human history. Meanwhile, a real Holocaust is going on right now in Gaza that the Jews don't want us talking about. What? Who the fuck posted this? Oh my god. I haven't been watching Rick and Morty, so no. I haven't seen any Rick and Morty lately. Thanks for that, Nation Dreamsation.
Build a big fun, people are jealous, envious. The thing I want to talk about today is fitness. My favorite 5 pick bodybuilders would be Richard Gaspari, Dorian Yates, Jay Cutler, Arnold, and 6, Lou Frigno, and Franco Colombo. So let me tell you something, and Tom Bless. So let me tell you something. I used to be a personal trainer. I passed the IFA certification. In 2008, I was till about 2010, 11 a trainer. I trained the YMCA and LA Fitness in Boynton when it first opened in 2005. Worked there a couple of years. Underpaid, didn't like it. So I went to YouTube, building my social media up, enjoyed, became a famous public figure in social media and bodybuilding. So what I want to talk about today is all the great trainers I've trained, like Skip LaCour, Ron Harris, PJ Braun, Richard Gaspar, Ronnie Coleman, Jay Cutler, a whole bunch of public figures. Let me tell you something. The fitness industry is full of lies. They say supplements work. We all know the real stuff works. All the other stuff works. What they don't tell you here, it's all lies. This Freakier by the Day series, breaking PR records. I'm trying to do that. I broke my over-the-head press on my dub. Now I'm working on my bench. A lot of things. I used to be a power lifter back in the day. And, you know, I've overcome a lot of my problems. Like, I just got off my cycle year. I'm on like a 3 to 6 month support system. PCT and Remadex and Novatest, HCG support. A lot of natural things. I am losing some gains, but I'll be much healthier and I'm going to get hot back on the stuff. But to get blood pressure periodically every couple of months, I said, donate blood. The thing I want to tell you about is 80% diving, 10% training, 10% sleep, and 10% supplementation. You don't have those, you're not going to do it. Let me tell you something. Getting ready for a bodybuilding show is not that easy, fans.
Yeah, he'd fucking know, since he can never fucking diet for one.
Takes a lot of work, about an hour and a half of cardio, 7 days a week. Got to up it close to show 3 to 4 weeks out, 2 hours a day. Weights, 3 hours a day. Supplements, 8 to 6 meals every day. It's a lot of work. That's why I don't compete anymore. Because there's a lot of work preparation. And it's very hard to get ready for one of these shows. So now that I'm done with competing, I'm focusing on building size and powerlifting and all that stuff. Like, I've wrote articles for Muscle and Sport magazine. I'm very popular on RMX Muscle, you know, Ron Harris's site. Very popular on MissBodybuilding.com. It's where I started the King. Very popular on Fitmiss and very popular on Reddit. I'm going to show you the magazines I've all been in. Is an inspiration to you guys. You know, they send me these magazines periodically. This one I have not been in. But I wrote in for this one. This was the summer of 2017. I wrote this. Joe Pietaro fixed my grammar.
What?
You know, I will show you that right now.
He didn't write a fucking article.
The magazine article I am in. If I can find it. I've been in a lot of magazines. Let's see where I am. Muscle Sport Media. I wrote this article in the summertime of 2016. Talks about me going to Hollywood. I have my first magazine I was in the spring of 2017. Let me show you this. This is all my words I said in this magazine. By the way, I know how to write. I'm not that stupid. I write at a very low grade level, but it's all fixed with grammar. Exceeding against all odds. I wrote that. I also wrote this magazine.
The feces, fingers, donate to liars. How do I get a girlfriend if I'm retarded and smell bad? You might have some trouble if you're retarded and smell bad.
These are the biggest signs that you should leave a woman on red. Whenever you leave a woman on red, you're letting her know that you're capable of walking away. Number one is low compliance. All that really means is allowing you to lead and allowing her to follow. So if she's not following, giving you pushback, for example, you guys are texting on a dating app or maybe even texting through text, and you say, hey, what's your Instagram? Or hey, what's your phone number? And she says, it's better off if we stay here. Then that's a sign of low compliance, and a low sign of compliance also shows a lack of interest. You should only be dealing with high interest women. So if you see low compliance, leave her on red, and then more than likely a few weeks later, or maybe even a few days later, sometimes they reach back out. The next sign is low investment. This is when you see a lot of one-word answers, a lot of one-word replies. You gotta ask yourself, like, how can I keep this conversation going? If you have to do all that, bro, just simply leave her on red.
Yeah, it's not necessarily bad advice.
Did you ever see the Misfits episode where Genova said he could pay Natalie Portman 10 grand a day to live with him, make his meals and have sex with him? That was one of my favorites.
No, I didn't see that episode. I know he's obsessed with Natalie Portman. He's kind of retarded. Thanks for that donation, though, young nigga.
Here are weird signs that a man has high testosterone. If a man is wearing black Air Force Ones, not only does he probably have higher testosterone, but he definitely has lower inhibitions. They tend to be extremely aggressive and confrontational. There's a 90% chance that they have robbed somebody or been to jail a handful of times. Number two, cauliflower.
Yeah, Wearing black Air Force Ones is not a sign of high testosterone.
Here, this guy has been hit more times than most people have within 5 lifetimes. Not to mention the amount of ass whoopings this guy has probably given out. They also tend to have hyper masculine faces, proving that they have more testosterone than the average man. Lastly, if a man prefers a nice body over a nice face, men with high testosterone tend to prefer women who show signs of high estrogen and reproductive success. Now, the men with lower testosterone are the ones who usually go for the nice face with the lanky bodies with no curves. So, do you have higher testosterone?
I don't know if that's true at all. Where did he find that?
If you're not 6 foot or make 6 figures, women don't want you. We all know dating has become increasingly difficult due to the inflation of female standards. With the amount of options women have on social media and dating apps, it has severely skewed the perception of what is desired and attainable. But as a nearly 6 foot man, multi 6-figure earner, handsome, no kids, and under 30, we can have preferences too. For
Isn't he like 5'10" or 5'11"? He's not even 6 foot.
example, I prefer a woman who is 5'5" to 5'7". I prefer a woman who makes at least $60,000 a year. I prefer a woman who is educated and comes from a good family background. Now, I've earned the right to have these preferences, but the issue is that most women have not. That's like a guy who smokes weed all day in his mom's basement saying that he deserves a Playboy model. You're delusional. And for the woman with delusional standards, I guarantee you that the husband that you will one day settle for is nothing like the Prince Charming you imagine.
Who cares? Like, this whole fucking idea women have delusional standards, like, okay, then they're just single. Who fucking, like, it just doesn't affect you.
In the fall of 2017. Little Star Wars action right there. And I just came in a new magazine this year, baby. It's sick, it's piss. Going to Vegas. On my trip, there's Greg Valentino, my friend. Let me show you this. The maiden voyage, you can read us, the maiden voyage weekend to Vegas, baby. I've also been in New Time magazine, in the Miami magazine on the shelf. There I am right there. I've been in many magazines. This is back in 2015. This is my first publication. Very proud about this. Misfit Muscle is in this page.
Oh my god. That's
Was in this page.
not something to be proud of.
Was in this page. The old gym, man. Unfortunately, it's closed. Harper Arrow. Was in this regular publication magazine. Let me tell you, these are all the famous bodybuilders. Here's another magazine I was in. November. This is 2018. Helping the Del Rey Misfits up. Get where they are. Let me show you. I wrote a little article for them in my own words. Pretty cool. Let me show you that. Right there. Del Rey Misfits. Okay. Got all the famous bodybuilders I met over the years. My first one was back in 2011, Skip LaCour. Mark Alvisi. There's Aaron Clark when he was with Blackstone. Another woman from Blackstone. Another woman. Skip LaCour back in the day when I was Mass Machine Nutrition. Lou Fridno I did a video with. Ronnie Coleman. So I've been in the game a while. Just letting you know, fans, that the whole, dieting thing's hard. I have over 5,000
Dude,
videos
it's hilarious how this guy has a fitness channel when he doesn't train and he can't diet.
on YouTube, over 100 million views. I'm doing the gaming, coming out with my clothing business again soon. Got my own book on publishing, overcoming disabilities. The doctors never said what I was going to drive, proved them wrong. My doctor says I was never going to hold a job, proved them wrong. My doctor says I wasn't going to amount to anything. Like, the government is made to give you medication what fucking makes you sick. And also another thing is I lost my dad when I was 16, very sad. Had a lot of struggles. Lost my aunt in 2007, very close. I've been an avid coin collector, like art, like a lot of fine things, wine, traveling, things like that. But the thing what hit me hard is losing my drug dealer in 2017, and
Losing my
very
drug
close.
dealer.
And I've lost a lot of friends and a lot of struggles, and I'm coming out with my own apps and stuff and books and doing the gaming. So what I want to tell you is, don't let anybody stop you from accomplishing your goals, being an entrepreneur or a CEO or a fitness person. Believe in yourself.
You're a gay boy. I don't like you. But I feel sorry for you. You're sad, you sit at home all day playing video games and eating. You're a bit funny. But you're a nerd. You have an ugly girlfriend. You got arrested by the cops. You made your dogs ill.
Okay, that's great. Thanks for the donation, Courtney.
Don't let any fucking people say you can't overcome your disabilities, because you can. You just gotta work a little harder than everybody else. Like the lowest body fat I ever was 8 to 10. I hated it. It made me very low carb depletion, very fuzzy, very irritable, very moody. Like I said, when you're in high protein, low carbs, and you're in a crazy
He's blaming his inability to get in shape on his, like, autism.
amount of carbs, and moderate fat, you do get moody, you do have a period, you do get cranky, you do get fuzzy. So I kept my heart rate between 100, 145 beats a minute on the treadmill and the elliptical and the Stairmaster. And I used to sit in the sauna for about 20 minutes every other day. You know, hoodie, you know, ab wrap, ab cream. They say that preparation age pulls out the water for hemorrhoid. Don't believe that shit. Always got my body fat just close to show. Got the DexO scan, you know. It's a lot of work, fitness, and bodybuilding's a lot of stress. And that's why I'm trying to get into Hollywood and movies. But I love my social media. Cemetery is my passion. You know, I like food. My favorite 3 types of food is Italian, sushi, and Mexican. And we all know I like to eat. I like, you know, Star Wars. I like movies. I like having fun. I like hanging out with friends. I like having a good time with family. So, basically, you know, my goal is to build my empire. So, what I gotta say is just believe in yourself. Don't give a fuck what the haters say. Never give up your dreams. Believe in yourself. Don't care what anybody says. They're entitled to an opinion. Don't let people call you names. Because in society, people are fucking cruel in this world. They say a lot of dirty shit. Do a lot of dirty shit. There's a lot of trolls in this world. And when I started on YouTube, it wasn't bad. Unfortunately, social media is worse than it was 10, 15 years ago. So that's all I have to say for this video. And all I gotta say is you just gotta believe in yourself. You can't give up. You gotta be a CEO. You gotta believe in yourself. You know, I got a nice strong mind. Who cares what people say? They're entitled to their opinion. I'm very strong-minded. People says I can't do a lot of things. My doctor says I was never going to drive. My doctor says I'm never going to live on my own. I proved them all wrong. Because I have haters.
Yeah, dude, that's actually shocking that he has a driver's license. I wouldn't feel safe with Jason on the road.
Talking about you, you're obviously doing something right, because if they weren't, they wouldn't be jealous. The other thing is, like, a lot of celebrities have haters, like LeBron James, Kim Kardashian, Michael Jackson, Michael Jordan. They all have haters. And if you have haters, you're succeeding and you're winning. So, obviously, the more haters you have, the more traffic you're bringing for fans. So that's all I have to say.
$15 to watch this Misfits episode right after Lenny's reunion with his old training partner Andrew Collura, who did the 650 raw bench. Very munty.
Alright, let me take a look. Thanks for the donation, dude.
Lenny, you're foaming at the fucking mouth. Look.
The Fedibut's kicking
He
in.
had his teeth whitening shit in.
Oh, is that what it is?
Our Andrew already shot a load on your face in the bathroom. Leonard couldn't wait to suck your dick till after we're done.
We're gonna have to swab.
Gets after it, man. I turn around, every time I look out, he's doing an exercise. It's great.
That's why we're here.
Yeah. I like it. No bullshit. He gets right after it. I'm gonna get after that. Holy shit.
Leonard's here to just look at women.
She's like almost my age, too.
It's all new to him because we don't usually.
Have you ever tried weed from a dispensary in Canada? Is there a shop near your house that sells weed? When was the last time you were high? Do you like being high?
Yeah, I only ever got marijuana from dispensaries. There are dispensaries all over the place, so yeah, there's plenty that are close by. I haven't smoked weed in like, it's got to be at least 5 years now. Thanks for that donation though, Courtney, and I don't really like being high, no.
What do you expect? What the fuck women do I see? It's horrible.
He took one of those Viagras from Tony Huge before we left.
Oh, you gave him to him?
Yeah. He gave us like 6 bottles of shit. Cialis, all that stuff.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, Cialis, Viagra. I gave Leonard a Cialis and Viagra bottle.
All right, let's do something from the past. How many?
Why doesn't he
You
wipe
call
his
it
fucking mouth?
Double
Oh my
digits.
god.
We'd
Rep record.
ask the girl, how many? We'd ask a girl, how many? We went, what? How many?
Jesus.
How many reps do you want?
No, you gotta ask her how
dedicate
much.
this set to you.
It's
Yeah.
how much, not how many.
I'll dedicate this set to you.
Do it for broccolini. Let's go.
Yeah.
This is for you, Christina.
All right, now you're talking.
Did you know John Bravo watches your streams? He gives you a thank you shout out at 10:30 in this new video about Greg's new Turk scam.
Yeah, I know. I was talking to him on Instagram. He's a nice guy. We're gonna watch that later. Thanks for the donation, Adam.
That's for you, come to Lenny.
Nice. Tear down some tissue. Come on, rep record.
Zero.
It's good intensity. I like it.
Not one full rep was done.
Look at that cookie cutter with the backwards cap. How dare he? He probably doesn't even let her sit on his face. Look at him. Look at him, that fruitcake with the wraps on. For what? He weighs about a buck.
Dude, he's so gross.
Tolerate that shit on your next set. That's what we used to do.
Yeah.
You're gonna let that guy lift anywhere near you? So what we do is point the guy to the that was for you. Jay, let's see what you got. The needles and the pills.
I need a legal pad to write down everything Jay's taken now.
This is drug-free, I'm impressed.
As far as I'm concerned, the slate's clean. I never bench 650. I got to think about that when I come in here, like Tom Brady and James Harrison. Keep myself motivated. That guy's over there eating my lunch with a pretty broad, and I got this shit.
What's he making?
Look at this shit. I made 6 fucking figures.
Nice.
It's pretty good strength.
Good weight for an old woman.
Drug-free 40-year-old, not bad.
I remember we were taking craps in adjacent stalls and we were talking to each other. Willard's like, women do that shit. He's like, get out of there.
Yeah, he didn't know
Talking
who
to
was
each other.
behind there.
Yeah. Remember, he goes, where's the missing link, your partner?
Yeah, kicking us both out for the mucus that I spit on the floor after squatting.
Oh, man.
I had the flu and I
Yeah.
spit up the green stuff and left a pile of it by the squat rack.
I remember deadlifting, leaving 8 plates. I was like, I don't feel like re-racking.
And everyone would blame us. They come
Yeah.
in the next day, oh, it was you. I said, you didn't even see me fucking do it.
Remember that guy who was dumping our 100-pound plates? That prick, that blonde. He goes, take one more step and I'll call the cops, Lenny.
Yeah.
You stay back.
I saw him at the gas station. We kicked him out of the gym.
Dave.
I said, you want to do something to me now? You got something to say? Because I'll call him. That takes one phone call. Yeah, you're a real man, you piece of crap. And
We'd
he
hang
tried-
out there all night after the workout. We go lean against my truck. Lou even said, he's like, I miss going up to the truck.
Yeah,
and
those
leaning and talking.
homosexuals would try to come up and talk to us.
That World Gym that we were members at made the World Gym where we filmed all the Del Rey Misfit episodes look like a church. And
Yeah, big time.
People don't realize
Remember
how
Teresa
insane that gym
Dallapina,
was.
who we actually double teamed at that hotel. She was a Serena Williams lookalike. She used to come into the gym wearing, now picture Serena Williams with a black thong, and obviously the thong, the thin string part went right between those cheeks. See-through flesh-colored pantyhose. And that's it. She'd come into the gym like that in a fucking bra top.
We got her on some D-ball. I was working at GNC on a high flex in Congress. She'd come in on a Sunday, pull your pants down, blow me behind the counter.
I remember the first time I saw her, I'd go in those stalls and jerk off, just seeing her on the treadmill or on the when she was on the standing leg curl. God, it looked like she was bottomless.
Yeah.
So I'd run in the stall to jerk off between sets. And I remember the force, and I told her this. It would hit the ceiling, and that ceiling was 12 feet high.
I remember she gave me your dirty, sweaty underwear, and I had them on my rearview mirror for a couple of months driving around.
Yeah, those.
We gave it to Joe Pesci. Lenny's like, smell this. He goes, that's pussy.
It was very pungent. But she, first time I told her, I said,
this is
Andrew,
so weird.
tell her you like her outfit.
Yeah.
She flattered. It wasn't too long before we double teamed her. It was quite a sight. I was 400, Andrew was 300.
Jeez.
She was almost 200 pounds thick, and she was the aggressor.
Yeah.
She was a freak to begin with.
She loved white men.
I remember she's riding Andrew and fingering my asshole at the same time. We were all drenched in sweat, doing every position. And she was getting me pissed because she was gravitating more towards Andrew.
I remember when I had her in the car, he was pissed he called her. He just happened to call her when I was riding with her to the hotel. He's like, who are you with? So I went and picked him up, and we all went there.
But like true training partners, we shared pussy.
That's great.
Brad. We shared our pussy.
Well, I'm not sharing mine, buddy. You're a sick.
How do you know it won't improve the relationship, Brad?
I know for a fact it won't.
I think it put
You
a
sick fuck.
I think it
won't
put
let
a
you
smile
go
on
anywhere
her
near.
face. I know she doesn't want that, Brad.
After what you just did to that fucking stripper.
I'm doing what you don't do, Brad.
You're gonna have a breakout in a few days all over your mouth and tongue.
I hope I do, because I enjoyed every second.
Focus, Lenny, focus.
And shove her hair in my ass. Whoa, holy shit. Are you kidding me? That's drug free?
Trademark sign, try Craig Titus, Jason Genova look here.
You actually have muscle.
Holy what? That's drug free?
What's that scar from?
Hernia surgery.
Oh my god, dude.
No fat there.
It's rock hard, isn't
Rock
it?
hard. Go for this or two
Boy, this guy's into, I'll tell you what. It's nice to know, instead of we're talking about drugs, somebody that lifts. Said that you were down and out.
You know, beat off tests, of course, but I still get in there and train and eat right. If I get to sleep down, I mean,
You should be beating girls up with a stick like you used to.
a little close up there.
Really?
Totally different attitude up there. Church on Sundays, panties around the ankles on Fridays.
Church on Sundays, panties around the ankles on Fridays.
And trannies around the ankles on Saturdays.
I don't make any.
Fueled any tillers, bro. Chiropractors are fucking unhinged. Please report for animal abuse. Oh, Jesus. I don't want to see that. Yeah, I know there's fucking whack job chiropractors who do shit on animals. It's fucking insane. Thanks for the detonation, Fuel.
The effort, I mean, so. I got a lot of without even trying. Just working in the gym.
Christina! Christina! Christina, I love you! Christina! Christina, one more!
Hey, can I try it? How many did you do?
Too many to count.
Just one more than me. One shot, one shot.
There's easier ways to commit suicide.
Who is that, Jake?
trying doesn't count. You do or you don't. I learned that from Yoda in Star Wars. There is no try. Come on.
There's quacks in fucking Boca too, apparently. It's only in Del Rey with all the fucking weirdos.
I tried. Well, I'm impressed. What is this try bullshit? I tried. I heard that before. I thought guys his age would...
Synthball Mark is doing this for you.
Track him down. Track him down. Look at that. I nothing. I tell you what, I better get psyched up before I even think of doing that. I better get real psyched, like back in the day. You know, he used to kick my ass on a regular basis, but it's made me better.
You just go heavy partial. To this day, it's the only thing that's made my side delt sore is doing heavy partials.
Look at them guns on here.
It looks impressive.
Yeah. And he didn't die from a drug overdose. Thank God. It's just like that, look. What?
Not even. I mean, just go heavier, just going a little bit out.
Like this?
I go heavier and go half as high. You're just basically like moving at medial delt, just pumping it.
How much more do you got?
A couple more, I'll do a press and that's it.
Yeah, I'm gonna do some little tricep, probably some dips and some push downs. I'll do these
tries,
first.
yeah, I mean, I can train whatever. So.
What are you doing tomorrow? I was gonna
train tomorrow?
Yeah, back and buys.
Back, yeah, we can do that tomorrow. Where?
Whatever, LA.
Yeah.
Go to the LA in Boca.
Always go to the new Palm Beach gym, check it out.
I was disappointed. I was looking for a Gold's gym down here. All the ones we went to basically south of North Palm Beach closed. Freaking disappointing.
This gym is close to me, I'll tell you what.
Oh my god, 65s.
Be careful with this shit. How's that?
0.
How are you feeling tonight? New Frank vids to watch.
Well, to be honest, James, I'm feeling like absolute shit, and I got sicker since yesterday. Frank Tufano. There is, in fact, a new Frank vid to watch. Looks like it's going to be terrible, too. Because he's reviewing Sam Sulik's diet. I guess we can react to that in a bit. We just have to finish this video. I wanted to react to John Bravo's vid on Greg. But we'll react to that in a bit. Thanks for the donation, Sam.
How's that? Good? Andrew?
Yeah, good. High reps.
I'm still weak from that. That's a crushing feeling.
I cannot imagine that doing it. Like, he needs some more range of motion.
Get on the microphone.
Is there any conclusive or strong evidence that suggest microplastics or BPAs from plastic water bottles or food containers significantly lowers our testosterone? I'm finding a lot of conflicting research.
I don't know if you're really getting a substantive amount of BPA exposure from things like water bottles. Chances are the majority of your exposure to plastics is going to come from the food you eat. So if you eat a lot of animal products, especially I think chicken and fish are the two worst.
Maybe you need to do a red food fast and see if that helps.
I don't think I could even do that right now, Sam. There aren't really many good fruit, like good fresh fruit in stock in the store right now because of winter. Thanks for the donation, though, Sam. So, I don't know how much it's really affecting testosterone. I wouldn't be able to tell you. It does, like, they are endocrine-disrupting pollutants, but the majority of your exposure is going to come from the food you eat, not really the plastics you use. Thanks for the donation, though, Vega Sanchez.
No liabilities. There you go.
You know what they're going to say when they see that?
What?
Those don't even qualify as Lenny reps. How come you do such a small
Obviously, it's working.
Why do you use such a small range of motion?
Working the side delt, the medial delt. I mean, really, if you go above that, I think your front delt kicks in. So, it works for me. It's made me sore to this day out of all the movements I've done. So, just because something looks funny, if it works for somebody, then, you know. Look at Jason Huck. He does like heavy, you know, just short range of motion, and he's a beast.
So he still competes?
I don't know, but he's 300 pounds and lean off.
What's his name?
Jason Huck.
You competed against Jason Huck, didn't you? You talked about him. Well, in that southern states, Andrew was ripped. He lost his legs, but he came in ripped.
Let's just hope you're not dying.
Yeah, I guess. Probably not dying yet. Thanks for the donation, Dodo.
He scared the shit out of them guys because he was like a nobody from out of nowhere.
Who knows, maybe I'll make a comeback, get the legs up.
Comeback? You get on the fucking shit I'm taking, you'll be fucking Mr. Olympia.
You don't even need that. Well, you probably just need that test. That's it.
Yeah, get your channel going.
Last time I took something was, I was doing 4 plates on the incline, just 300 milligrams of test and 50 milligrams of D-ball. 4 plates on the incline.
So open, look how big you are.
Plus, I don't know, it's probably bro science, but donating blood.
What's the matter, Prim Prim? All right, little buddy. What you doing, Prim Prim? Huh? What's going on? What's happening with this kitty? What's this meowing? Huh? How's my big kitty? What? How's my big kitty? It's a good boy.
I don't know if that clears your receptors too. I do that regularly.
My doctor told me to do that.
Yeah, I've been doing that, so I'm ripe for some growth if I want.
Vegan looks like an old man.
React to this.
Let me see.
Some allege that whatever the outcome of the 2024 presidential election is, it is going to spark a civil war. And now there are some businesses popping up that are seeking to capitalize on the fears that people have in regard to a potential civil war. So outdoor education programs, survival courses, and military simulations have been in high demand and are now becoming more and more popular in various parts of the country, and that's according to the New York.
Let me tell you a story. One time I smoked so much meth that I thought I was gay. So I jerked off my brother and sucked my dad's dick. The end. Cat daddy forever, bitches.
Well, glad you're so close with your family. Thanks for the donation, Cat Daddy.
York Times, they specifically highlighted a business out of California. It's known as California Survival School. And they followed 9 people who paid $800 to take a weekend-long course to teach them survival tactics. Now, participants would not be schooled in RE of the SERE. And if you're wondering what that is, it's the Survival, Evasion, Resistance, and Escape. That is, you know, makes a lot of sense if you're looking to survive, but that would involve exposure to simulated stressors, mental and physical, faced by prisoners of war. Instead, according to the school's website, they're gonna focus on the following things. Preparing for evasion, the mental mindset.
Yeah, well, whatever. Not particularly interesting.
He
His arms look good. He always had good arms.
Looks like a 60-year-old man.
He's in great shape for his age.
Yeah. No, he's younger than me. He's younger than Andrew. He don't die fucking good.
Who?
Really?
How would you call it when you pretty much want to die but don't want to do anything towards that goal?
That's just suicidal ideation. Thanks for the donation, Dormant.
Good evening, VG. I hope that you are doing great tonight. Check out this clip of Dementia Don thinking that E. Jean Carroll's Nikki Haley. $83.3 million lol hashtag vote blue no matter what. Can this world get any worse?
Yes, if Trump gets elected, that would make it worse. Thanks for the donation, Dodo.
Know who this woman is. I have no idea who she is, where she came from. This is another scam. It's a political witch hunt. And somehow we're going to have to fight this stuff. We cannot let our country go into this abyss. This is disgraceful. You have somebody running for office. You have a woman that's financed and lied about it. She totally lied about it by Democrat operatives, like just about the biggest one there is.
He confused E. Jean Carroll with Nikki Haley?
And she said that wasn't true. They found that she lied about it, and the judge wasn't even, I guess, letting it be put in as evidence. The whole thing is a scam, and it's a shame, and it's a disgrace to our country.
Well, what a fucking idiot. He should just keep his mouth shut about it, because, he's just gonna end up getting sued again. He's really stupid. Ugh. Imagine being that stupid that you end up losing $83 million over just talking shit. Thanks for the donation, Ben.
Guy with the red shirt behind? No, he can't be younger than I am.
He's the fuck out of here. He's mid-40s.
Oh, I thought he was early 50s.
Dodo donate $2, please react.
Today we're going to talk about how to develop consistency in your...
I don't want to watch his videos because he's a fucking idiot and I don't trust anything he says. Thanks for the donation, Dodo.
Modified upright road. Yeah, it looks like I'm doing a stupid movement, but I'm focusing on your side now.
What's going on, handsome? Hope you are well and feeling better, dude. Also, have you seen these of Stefania? Not safe for stream view. Enjoy, smile.
Let's see. I don't think I've seen all of these. It's got a good butt. This one image is taking forever to load. Yeah, that's a good butt. Thanks for the donation, Andrew. Appreciate it.
Bring your elbows up.
What are your next people? You don't see Scott Mendelson doing that. Scott Mendelson's raw bench was 1 inch.
Not in the video. I mean, now I tried.
1 inch of Scotty, you big phony, you farce. You cookie.
What are you doing?
Cleaning the bunny box, giving the bunnies hay.
I feel sick. Feel like I'm gonna die.
Cutter Scott Mendelson, who might have had. Actually, Andrew isn't raw. According to Jay Masters, his lift is an Ironman lift. No wrist straps, no belt, nothing. I think raw includes belt, wrist straps. Andrew did it in a loose t-shirt on his tippy toes. I mean, that just doesn't... I'm
not sure how much that would add, though.
I call it the best lift in history. If you got some leg driving, you would...
Leg drive, for sure.
You would have done it for 700 pounds.
But wrist straps and a belt...
What didn't matter? Your wrists were so thick and powerful.
Yeah, I never had any issues then.
But some of those guys put on those...
Dorman, donate $2. Any book recommendations for just general knowledge? Any books in particular that stuck with you over the years? I really just read manga. If you want to read something good, I'd recommend reading Berserk or Gantz. Those are probably the two best mangas in my opinion. Thanks for the donation though, Dormant.
Wrist wraps real tight and they punched the weight up.
And that's when you were 20 or 19?
It's 23.
23.
This is like weeks before I turned 24.
23, which
Then
is about right.
We proceeded to go to Boston's on the beach. I broke the plastic chair, eat my burger that night.
You were enormous.
People were telling me to see some guy, Kieran Kidder. He was up in Daytona. He was some bench
For
expert.
what?
But yeah,
Some flabby fuck.
Yeah.
Take all the credit for what the fuck's he need to see him for? You bench more than every one of his people with no specialization. Fuck him. I'm glad you didn't. Glad you didn't put the bench shirt on either, because you would have been like the rest of those nobodies.
Yeah. I was too big and hairy to put that on here in the middle of summer. Put a friggin' bench shirt on.
Yeah.
It looks stupid.
Have you lifted with a bench shirt?
Never. They got the slings. They got all this. What's the point? You saw the guys in the video. They were so overpowered with that weight, and the skinheads that were there. It's like you look like an idiot.
Pure white trash.
The hell's the point?
Right. Pure white trash.
That's why I respect deadlift and squat, because although squat, some of the stuff can aid you.
That Ronnie Coleman super suit belt, knee wraps, that adds about 200 pounds.
You see what he looks like now? He's all fucked up.
Yeah, he's a cookie cutter.
I caught no feelings whatsoever when I was getting ready, because the estrogen levels were so low, so I had like no compassion.
You actually like putting people down for some reason.
Yeah.
You like insulting them. Especially those old guys that bother you.
I had such tunnel vision. You too. I mean, getting ready for those shows. After the first year, 04, when we were basically, we had the size, but I was humiliated when they gave me that trophy. I wanted to smash it. I said, I'm going to come back shredded next year, and we did. Lenny was ready to fight every competitor there.
Was that the one he was shadow boxing? That's the one that the VHS we had.
Tape's sitting right there. We need to convert it.
Yeah.
04.
Oh, you have it?
04. Yeah, it's sitting right over there.
No, this is 05 when we did the next year.
That.
Yeah.
We're in much better shape.
Remember Dr. Michael Gomez or whatever his name was? You wanted to fight him. You were eyeing his wife up.
Yeah.
And the MC's like, "Oh, come on, guys."
At a competitors meeting, I just went and sat down. He's like, his wife comes up. My husband's sitting there. I'm like, whatever. You know, I didn't even look. Then he comes up and looks at me. I said, "That's my seat." I said, "That's my seat." And then she's like, "For God's sake, he's my husband. You let him sit down." I said, "That's a sorry excuse for a husband I've ever seen." I said, "Is he going to make me sit down right in front of the kids?"
But on a side note, that's how you know you're ready for a show. Because that show in 06, when I was at my leanest, I felt awful. Jim Stewart,
were shredded.
I was ready to knock his teeth out. He was bugging me, sitting next to me. I was like in no mood.
He was jealous, a piece of shit. Coward. You were so fucking ripped it wasn't even funny. Your back was...
When I'd shave
almost
my
like-
head, chunks of skin were coming off. I was so lean, plus tanning and everything. My skin was like, I couldn't even shave my head. It was like skin was
And
coming off.
you lost your legs to
Yeah,
get ripped.
legs were like
If you would have
awful.
had your legs, you would have smoked those guys. Because you just had so much muscle on your upper body, it didn't matter. It was still enormous.
Yeah,
That's a hint, competitors. Develop so much muscle that when you diet, even though you're going to lose muscle, you still have plenty left over. And it's doubly hard if you're taller, so you got to get really big.
Yeah. That was a competitive show, though. Would I come in 7th out of 12?
I remember when I went to the...
How much did you weigh?
220.
220.
I remember in the lobby, there was a Spanish girl with a tattoo of a snake around her neck.
Yeah.
And it was down her ankles. And I remember I was really ripped, tan. And I said, "Where does that tattoo begin and end?" And she took one strap off one shoulder, one off the rest, and the fucking dress dropped totally naked. And the snake was tattooed all around her body, around her legs, right between her. Showed me her bush and everything was naked back there. I was like, holy shit.
Brad would have loved that.
Yeah. Who
Dude,
wouldn't?
how does he get women to do this?
So if there's just some ideas for some tattoos, don't go get me any ideas, Dale. Get a snake tattooed around your crotch.
What if Christina Broccolini were to get that?
Christina does whatever she wants. And I don't, and it's our privilege to enjoy, at least mine anyway.
That was good.
So what do you mean give you?
Let's see.
This and risk his career after what happened last time.
Well, we have the labs to prove it, and it's not just FDA standards, it's above and beyond.
And if you take a look at the label, you notice it says 5% testosterone.
What? Yeah.
Sister-in-law Brittany just had her beautiful daughter.
I haven't been able to sleep much lately.
All right, here we have 2 bags of my breast milk, 4 ounces.
And I got so much work to do.
I hit her up and it was kind of weird accent, you know what I mean? But this is what you want to break your fast with. Breast milk storage bag.
But the milk from the titties, it's giving me nightmares. And I can't even sleep anymore.
Got a little bitter saltiness to it.
That's gross.
So they say.
Oh, but it is true. This little one will tell you that, huh? What news have you from the hospital?
They say he had a good night.
He's out of danger.
They say he is doing as well as could be expected.
Son of a bitch. Fuck. I gotta film. I got no fucking energy for this shit. The titty milk. This asshole better be right about this shit.
Gross. Ew.
Oh, this bitch's tits taste like shit. What's she eating for dinner, this whole... You know what that asshole, munchkin, midget, Greg Doucette, you know what he's up to now? I should add, he's a scammer too. Do you know what he's up to now, that asshole? You remember that whole testosterone fiasco where he sold millions of dollars of testosterone to people, but when an independent lab tested the stuff, it showed it had nothing in it, and it was bunk. You remember when that whole thing happened, and did he give refunds to people? Did he give them credit to get something else? No, he just took the $1 million and kept it for himself and didn't say nothing about it. He tried to say sorry, but did anyone believe him? No. And no one's going to accept an apology from somebody if they don't try to make up for what they did, right? You guys remember this, right? Well, now, I'm not even kidding you. He's coming out with testosterone again.
Coach Greg, and I'm going to make perhaps the most controversial video I've ever made right now. And what is the topic? Testosterone.
And he's claiming all...
Is Derek from More Plates, More Dates even selling that bullshit anymore? What is it, Gorilla Mode? Or Gorilla Mind? I don't think he's even selling it, anymore. Oh, no. He is. That's funny. They're still selling this fucking garbage. And they're calling it Turkplex. Complexed testosterone, because there's like no testosterone in it, and it's mostly other ectosteroids. That's fucking hilarious. The stuff is just fucking garbage.
Crazy shit that it's doing all these things. But I'm sitting here watching this and I'm like, why would anyone believe this asshole after his track record from last time? So he's willing to take this risk again because I don't know. I don't know why he would be willing to do this and risk his career after what happened last time.
Well, we have the labs to prove it, and it's not just FDA standards, it's above and beyond.
And if you take a look at the label, you notice it says 5% testosterone. In reality, how much effect is that really going to have on a person? Is it really going to do that much, being just 5%?
And we're willing to allow anyone to test it. And so I can say with 100% certainty that we do in fact have turkesterone.
Yeah, like with the concentrations you're talking about, the shit would have to be like more potent than actual anabolic steroids. It makes no fucking sense.
That we've tested other supplement companies, they don't in fact have turkesterone. And so if you actually want turkesterone in the real world, for real, Turk Builder, the only one I can recommend.
Now, you know where he says he got the turkesterone from? He's claiming that it's very rare. It's very hard to find. He searched the entire globe, every country ever, in the entire world, to find this stuff. It's rarer than a gem, right? The rarest gem, it's rarer than that.
But unfortunately, it is extremely difficult to get. We searched the entire globe, going through country after country, until we finally actually found turkesterone for real. Yeah, you're thinking, oh, snake oil salesman.
And you know where he found it? He's saying he found it in Uzbekistan. Do you guys know where Uzbekistan is? Do you remember the movie Borat, where his enemies were that he called assholes?
I like sex. It's nice. This is my country of Kazakhstan. It locates between Tajikistan, Kyrgyzstan, and assholes Uzbekistan.
Shut up!
Whoa, Uzbekistan! Fuck you, motherfuckers!
That's where Uzbekistan is. And that's where Greg bought it. He bought it from those assholes.
Very hard to get. It's grown in Itsetsitskan. I can't even say it. Itsetsitskan, Itsetsitskan, Itsetsitskan. I don't know where it is. It's out there. It's far away. It's grown in
Dude, what a
nature.
moron.
Insects, they pee on it, they poop on it, whatever they do, they release a chemical. It makes it work better than ever before.
So now Greg believes that this turkesterone is real. He feels that it's real. So he's selling it to people again. He's so stupid, he believes this shit. Now, Greg put out this video while he's on, or actually right before he goes on vacation. He was just on vacation. This guy lives on vacation. He was just in Tulum for who knows how long, 2 weeks. I think he got pneumonia over there. And he was partying. He comes back for a few days. And now he's back in Miami. And then he's going to Colombia for 10 days, right? But you know what he's doing? He's a sugar daddy now. He brings these sharmutas with the titties to all these fancy dinners, fancy
That's
vacations.
funny.
Since him and Ali broke up, he became a simp sugar daddy from what I'm seeing.
And back to palm tree land. Look at this,
Dude.
palm trees. Girls were pretty excited.
For sure.
Dude, what a loser. What, like, it must be his height that makes him have to do this. Like, wow. He has to pay women to fucking be with him. Like, it has to be because he's like 5'5" or something. Jesus.
Look at this. It's a double bed with like the most room you can ever imagine. We definitely.
Thy Only Path donated $2. Have you seen someone this unhinged at demo?
Memphis 10 represents the South. So pass the JoJo, and we gon' stay chicken. Pull up that Momo, holla at a chicken.
I've never seen anybody act like that at a protest, no. Dude, I'd probably smack her. Yeah, I'd smack that bitch right across her face. What a fucking whack job. Also, have you heard of this account?
Damn!
Oh my god, dude. Anything for views. Wow. Oh my god. Look at that nice little deer. My goodness. It's a really beautiful animal. Oh my god. Such a pretty deer. Wow. Wow, look at his little snoot. My goodness. That's amazing. Wow. Oh. Holy shit. Oh my god. Dude, sheep are amazing. Oh my goodness. Look at that little fuzzy guy. Wow. Cows are great. It's a nice butt. That is a big butt. Thanks for the donation, The Only Path.
They have some Tulum vibes, although it's inside. I'm feeling the Tulum vibes.
Ew.
It's just not as warm.
What? He's hanging out with these fucking girls? Gross, dude.
It's just not as
oh my
warm.
god.
Just listen to the music. Come on, guys.
Dude, he's finding like the trashiest fucking whores he can.
You hear that? What's happening over there? What's going on? Ultra wide. I'm reading it says ultra wide. No one's wants to be a top. Everyone's a bottom.
Yeah, no one wants that.
This is probably where all his money goes. He spends a lot of money on bullshit, and now he's a sugar daddy, so he needs more money. I don't think his channel is doing that well from the views as they used to be. So maybe that's why he's willing to take this risk with the testosterone bullshit. And how he's living now, you know what's reminding me of? You guys remember I used to live in Scottsdale, where all the sugar daddy simp old men used to live. And all those plastic girls, they all look exactly the same, carbon copy of each other, same lip fillers, same hair, same eyelashes, long like caterpillars, all the same bullshit. He's living like that, so he might as well just move to Scottsdale because he can live his best life there. He doesn't have to travel to Miami and all these stupid places and Tulum and do that because the girls, they're just easier over there. You just show them the money, they're coming home with you. Now on the testosterone, okay? There is no human study worth a damn that says it does anything, okay? And now...
Yeah, I think there's only 2 studies that I know of, and they weren't even on testosterone. They're on some other ectosteroids. One showed did absolutely nothing. Another showed like a small benefit. So probably does nothing.
Now I'm going to go over what he's claiming. He's claiming that when he takes the testosterone, right, it's giving him so many androgenic effects. It's making him feel stronger and more masculine and giving him energy. It's helping his
and it's literally impossible. The proposed mechanism of action is it bonds to the estrogen receptor. So for him to claim he's getting all these androgenic side effects, it's literally impossible.
Sleeping issue during the day.
Am I going to see an actual increase in size, strength, aggression, and so on? And the answer was yes. And how long did it take the first time? And so think of it. I'm telling you, the first time I took it, I felt it on day 1. How many supplements can you think of that you can take that you can feel it on day 1? Perhaps anything that's a stimulant, perhaps caffeine, ephedrine, pre-workout, fat burners. But a supplement that can build muscle that you can feel. That you go to the gym and you know you've taken something. That your muscles feel different. You look different. That, to me, truly remarkable.
He's claiming all this bullshit that it's doing, right? He's saying it's so strong that he can't even do the 3 pills. He's got to lower it to 2 pills because it's so strong. He has to lower it.
First time I ever took this, I had about
Fucking
20
ridiculous.
pills. I started by taking 3 pills and I could not believe how strong I felt. Could not believe it. So much so that I reduced it to 2 pills. And you know what else I noticed? I never got tired anymore. So much so that I never needed to use any narcolepsy medication. I would stay up all day, had energy all day long. No more did I take naps. I had plenty of energy. And so I could not believe it gave me enough energy to train harder than last time and to stay awake during the day.
And what's funny is he makes a contradiction, because in the beginning of the video, and I'm going to thank Vegan Gains for this because I was watching Vegan Gains live stream yesterday, and he said this, he pointed this out. He goes, Greg, in the beginning of the video, he says, you know, this stuff is strong, but it's not as strong, you know, if you ever taken steroids, you know, you can't compare it to steroids.
There are steroids that are out there that you could take that you would feel more than Turk Builder.
But then later in the video, you know what he says? He goes, it reminds me of test suspension. It gives me that type of an effect. So he contradicts himself.
Yeah, it's
like an
fucking
idiot.
insane.
This is what happened the second time I took it. I took 3 capsules the first day. I said, what is going on? Felt like I was on test suspension. Have you ever taken test suspension? Probably not.
Like, it's so crazy, too. You can look at the fucking dosages here. So, you're getting about 15 milligrams of turkesterone per capsule. And he's saying, oh, it feels like test suspension when you start taking it. Like, it would literally have to be more androgenic than actual, and more potent. Like, it would just have to be more anabolic and androgenic than an actual androgen for this to be, like, to make any sense. And that's crazy. Like, it's impossible. Only 15 milligrams per capsule. And then he's claiming it's more anabolic and androgenic than an actual androgen.
Have you ever taken test suspension? Probably not. Well, what it does, it makes you feel more aggressive. You have more energy. You feel stronger. You feel bigger, more full. It's incredible the first time I noticed it.
He also claims it's better than creatine.
There is no way creatine is even close to as good as this. Not even close. 1 pill a day, guaranteed. I'm telling you it's better than creatine. I can't wait to see you try it.
Creatine is the only supplement since the beginning of time that's a natural supplement that has ever been worth anything. Meaning, it actually works and it's been proven, and there's been hundreds and thousands of tests showing that this works.
I am ready for Frank.
Yeah, we're gonna watch the Frank Tufano video in just a few minutes. Thanks for that donation, Sam.
He's trying to compare it to a product that has very, very little testing, okay? And
Well, it's had 0 testing. As far as I'm aware, there's 0 human trials looking at turkesterone specifically.
he's trying to say that it's better than that, based upon how he feels.
It's in very limited supply. I wish I could have hundreds of thousands of these bottles because this is truly remarkable, and I do believe it's going to change the supplement industry. And you're thinking, you're full of shit. And rightly so, you should be skeptical. I would be if I were you. And so don't buy it. Someone else is going to. It's going to sell out in no time.
I've been on TRT for over 10 years, and it's done so much for my life to make me feel this out. You know, I would never recommend things to people to send my blood back in results, and pricing is competitive. Somebody that I it's legal now. You know, WADA doesn't ban it.
And remember, turkesterone, it's not banned by WADA. You're allowed to take it. You will not fail a drug test. And so there are steroids that are out there.
Yeah, that is a huge red flag. If it's not banned by WADA, then clearly it does fucking nothing.
That you could take that you would feel more than Turk Builder. But those are banned.
And I'm sitting there thinking, why would they ban it? Because it doesn't do shit. If it did anything, do you think it'd be legal?
Editor Steve, ask him. Oh, he's your brother. He's going to lie. You really think so? You have no idea of our moral standards. You really...
Like, by the way, WADA has restrictions on caffeine usage. You can't take like Tylenol and aspirin. Certain peptides like TB500 and BPC 157. They're banned, even though they don't really have a performance-enhancing benefit. They're just, you know, beneficial for recovery. All that shit is banned. And then, like, they don't even bother banning turkesterone. Like, it has to be garbage for them not to ban it.
Really think me and my brother are gonna lie? You don't know us. And we've given it to various other people, including women, and the results are astounding. And I know you're watching this and thinking, too good to be true. I would also think that. And so don't buy it. I don't need you to buy it. I said, even if I sell 0 bottles, I want them all. I want all of them. And so I said to the manufacturer, send me 100 bottles, because if we run out, I want to have 100 bottles, because I don't want to ever run out of this supplement. And the supplement is very strong.
So, Greg, maybe those assholes in Uzbekistan, the ones that Borat says are that, maybe they sold you something that is legitimate. Maybe it does have what it says it has.
And if you don't believe me, that is fine. I'm telling you, I promise, I swear, I'm telling you the truth. I am not trying to lie. I'm saying exactly how it made me feel.
But people are going to have a hard time believing you from what happened last time.
Yeah, this turkesterone shit is just such a fucking scam. I don't know how it's still being sold. Like, who the fuck is still buying this garbage? Alright, well, here's the cross-eyed freak.
What's up? How are you guys this Sunday? Frankie Eyeballs is back with our local CIA agent, Sam Sulik. I think this guy had less than 1 million subscribers 1 or 2 months ago, and now he's at almost 3 million. I don't know, one of you guys might be...
So now he thinks Sam Sulik is part of the Illuminati because he gets more views than Frank.
I was talking politics with my idiot co-worker that's from Texas. She voted for Trump in 2016 and 2020 and she's bitching about getting less return on her taxes. I mentioned that BC of Trump's tax cuts caused us to pay more to offset the debt that was created lol.
Well, did she actually believe that? Because usually Trump fanatics will come up with any cope excuse for any stupid policy he made. Thanks for the donation, though, Ben.
Paying more attention than me on that. Renowned around the world for his Krispy Kreme and Five Guys diet. It's pretty horrible. And he uses performance-enhancing drugs. He's taking Accutane, so I'm surprised he's still alive. But we can see what he's doing. I mean, this got 600,000 views 3 days ago. I mean, he's been getting crazy views. So the algorithm's definitely pushing him. And the way a lot of these super popular influencers work is it's not like a direct sponsorship or endorsement, but when you get someone really popular that has a large platform to do things, it increases the sales. That's just how it is. So that's definitely something to consider here whenever he's doing something. Yo, did he change the music? I'm pretty sure he changed the music.
Can you believe it? I'm finally back. Well, finally back to look at the food intake. So I've already got 3...
One thing I will say, this complete tool bag that owns Hostile copyrighted the video that I did of them last time, got me a copyright strike. I emailed him. I was like, hey, look, I'll take the video down. Just withdraw the strike. I'll delete the video. He didn't do it. And YouTube, for some reason, sided with him, but it doesn't make sense because when you post a video on YouTube, it's in the public domain. It's technically fair use, but they just...
It's not public domain just because you post a video. That's not true. Frank doesn't understand copyright.
Don't like me, so they just did that to me. That's the only positive thing I have to say about his company, and I won't be further derogatory. I will keep this 100% factual. I think that's a pretty tacky colored shirt, though, you know. Lack of style. I bet they charge $70 for it. And that thing he has on his head, it's a Rode microphone. It's Wi-Fi. I mean, most people don't care or know about Wi-Fi. I mean,
Here we go. Yeah, Wi-Fi is gonna damage your brain and kill you.
You can't see. He's got the phone. I'm blocking the phone. That's right there on the table. He's got the mic. Probably 20 to 30% of your overall health is radiation reduction. I'm always
No, it is not.
wearing the clothing we have on WiFiShielding.com. I try to shield my head as much as possible. This whole room you guys can't see because there's a green screen, but it's shielded in metal. Like, very, very important factor that none of these people consider.
Servings of Chex. I was actually kind of disappointed. I was scanning around the kitchen. I was looking for a box of Golden Grams that used to be floating around in here. Somebody must have finished them off. But, you know, whatever. Simple carb. I know some dudes would pretty much hype up the Chex over any other kind of cereal just because it's rice-based rather than, like, you know, grain or wheat or whatever. But it's, to me, I'm looking at 120 grams of carbs. There's like 3 grams of fat. Basically, I mean...
I haven't really paid attention. Did he say anything? This poor kid's face is so inflamed. His face looks so red.
That's actually not true. I was about to say negligible. No, do not even think about skipping. Like, I just looked up the nutrition label, right? Per serving 1 gram of fat in, you know, this little dry Chex. Don't just skip over that. That's the absolute worst mistake you could do. In a bulking context, it's not bad, right? Because, of course, you'd be eating more food than you're really tracking. But if you're trying to diet down, you know, you've got to be OCD Mr. Monk level. Like, any amount of ketchup you get, that's 3 grams of carbs. Any amount of extra oil you put in the pan when you made some eggs, that's 5 grams of fat. You know, when it comes to my dieting, not style, but maybe theory, if you could call it.
Shockingly, she can't stand Trump now, realizing what a piece of shit hostile sexist he is. Lol. Also, she's for abortion and knowing that Trump's responsible for stripping women of their reproductive rights, but still says what's Biden done for us? Unreal. Lol.
Yeah, Trump and Republicans in general basically prey upon the politically unaware. None of these people are actually politically aware enough to make any kind of sensible voting decision. Thanks for that donation, Ben.
About that, calories is the #1 factor, right? Because you got to remember, I could eat as perfect food.
So this IIFYM, if it fits your macros, like macronutrient, fat, carb, protein, warrior nonsense, is really, really ingrained in the dietary culture. It's what the mainstream is pushing as the end-all be-all factor in health because they don't want you to know the truth that they're poisoning you with all.
Nobody considers macros to be the end-all be-all of health. The reason why macros have kind of been in the, I don't know, fitness zeitgeist is just because they're relevant for performance and body composition. So you need a certain amount of carbs to have enough energy. You need a certain amount of protein to be able to build muscle. You need a certain amount of fat for, like, you know, just general health, like to be able to absorb fat-soluble vitamins for hormones. Like, that's why people care about macros. It's not because they think it's the end-all be-all to health. Feces, fingers, donate $2. Fuck. Let me see.
Okay. I'm gonna try.
What the hell is this cat squeaking about?
I've seen the song, but I'm not a singer, so I'm gonna let you know now. It's called Salt Off the Fries. Salt off the fries, sugar out the pies, fat off your meat, fast on your feet, green in your diet, salad on your plate. Hold all the extras, including milkshakes. Kill a little stress, get plenty of rest. Go see a doctor, he'll guide you the best. Lose a couple pounds, walk an extra mile. Wash all the heads, turn around and give you a smile. I say salt off the fries, sugar out the pies, fat off your meat, fast on your feet, green in your diet, salad on your plate. Hold all the extras, including milkshakes. Hold all the extras, including milkshakes. Thank you.
That wasn't very good.
Let me tell you about the greatest thing in the world. It ain't your mom. It ain't your girl. It's pie. That's right. It's pie. And it's out of sight. It won't make you high, but it'll have you feeling alright. It's delicious. It's nutritious. Apple, cherry, lemon, lime. The flavor don't matter. It's pie. It's pie. Whenever you're having a bad day, you can always melt your troubles away with pie. That's right. Pie can help you out. Even when you have doubt. Trust in the power of pie, and you will see why. People would rather die if they had no pie. But what can you expect? It's pie. It's pie. It's pie. Apple, cherry, lemon, lime. How can one resist those flavors that everyone savors? I know I can because it's pie. It's pie. And I'm feeling alright when I eat some pie.
That was not a rap. But he called it a rap. Eating coal and singing. Why is he eating coal? That does not look good for you. That looks just horrible. Why would you do that?
We caught in a trap. I can't go on because I love you too much, baby. We caught in a trap. I can't walk out because I love you too much, baby. We caught in a trap. I can't walk out because I love you too much, baby.
Okay, that was very awkward. You probably shouldn't do that.
Okay, you motherfuckers. This is what 100 layers of glue is dry. Oh my god. I guess what do I do now? Rip it off? Look, like... Oh my god, this is so satisfying. Holy shit, dude. Oh my god. Oh my god, that's insane. Ow. Holy. Oh
How is he gonna
my
get it out of his
God.
hair?
What the fuck? See that shit? And I'm gonna have to shower to get the rest of this shit. Like this video. And
Well, that was retarded. Thanks for the donation, Feces Fingers.
All this crap they put in the food, how polluted everything is, the agrochemicals. They don't want you to know that you need to go organic and eat high quality foods. And if you do that, you can eat whatever amount of those high quality homemade foods you want, and you will be healthy and have a good body composition.
No, Frank doesn't seem to understand caloric balance. He literally thinks that the whole calories in, calories out thing isn't true. And he thinks as long as you're eating something healthy, you can eat as much as you want and you won't gain weight. He's an idiot.
I literally eat a loaf of bread every single day, and I can't really go above 12% body fat because it's homemade and high.
Yeah, that's because you're burning enough calories. Stupid.
Quality.
Train as hard as I want for years on end. But if I don't eat enough calories to be in a calorie surplus and actually deposit, well, mass, but primarily muscle onto my frame, I'm not going to get anywhere. I mean, I'll look like a freak, but I'll still be like 2.
Go back to Frank.
Don't worry, we're watching Frank. Thanks for the donation, Sam.
20. The only way to actually gain weight is to eat calories in excess.
Is to use
of your
copious
body's
amounts of
burning
performance-enhancing drugs.
And vice versa is apparently a hard truth. And from some like TikTok freakout videos I see, apparently it's a argued truth. But the only way to lose body fat, again, same thing but in reverse.
I'm honestly legitimately surprised that no one has sued these people in court yet. Like, because I think it's a pretty cut and dry lawsuit. Like, hey, you're using performance enhancing drugs. You're not putting a disclaimer at the beginning of your videos, and you're
What? Yeah, you can use drugs, Frank. I don't know how you'd sue someone for taking steroids.
people advice on diet and nutrition and stuff that is completely like it just doesn't make any sense. You can disregard everything this guy says based on the fact that he's using like unnatural steroids to get to where his body is.
Less calories than your body burns.
That made no sense.
What's the word the kids are using now? Stop yapping.
That, I'm really trying to get in
yapping.
Tons of carbs. My 250 grams of protein.
Grade A yapper.
I kind of stay around a gram per pound.
How many grams of test?
Right now I'm at 250.
How many grams of
I need
tren?
250 grams. If you're a buck,
how many grams of rat poison?
Go for a $1.60. If you do 200 at that weight, or if you did 100 at that weight, I don't think it's going to change anything too much.
Oh, what's that?
But good.
What's that drug called? DNP. They use it's like called DNP or something. Literal rat poison. They used to cut weight.
I'd say gram per pound is where you're at. In terms of fats, it kind of fluctuates. Maybe a fourth of that.
Yo, I bring this up every time steroids are brought up. I always forget what it's called. It's like DHEA or dihydrotestosterone. It used to be for sale in powder on Amazon. Like it's illegal and you can't sell it anywhere. But it was crazy. You used to be able to buy it.
So usually my fats are
It's not illegal. I think Amazon just delisted any DHEA products.
Well, the bulking gets a little funky. Whatever. I don't really have a specific fat goal I'm aiming for. Bulking days, I'll get up in the 150s. But carbs, I did a whole rant in the drive back from the gym last night about how carbs are totally going to change the way my workouts and pumps feel. So that's what I'm really trying to push. So today, by the end of it, I should be about at 800-ish grams of carbs. So good start with 120.
800 grams of carbs? Holy crap.
Of course, anytime you're eating anything, at least as often as you can, food scale is going to come in crazy fucking handy. But
we made a video a few months ago and we speak a lot about the importance of vitamin B1 in carbohydrate metabolism. So I'm sure a lot of these people and most people in America in general could really benefit from a super high dose B1 supplement because
nobody needs a B1 supplement if they're eating. Like, it's practically impossible to be vitamin B1 deficient.
That's the primary vitamin used to process carbohydrates.
Pour on, 3 cups of milk or so. That'd be 720 grams.
You have these big commodity companies producing this milk, super low quality, super cheap, super bad for you. When, if you go to, we have all the raw milk and dairy products on Frankie's Free Range Meat, but you might be spending more money relatively to the amount of product you're buying, but you're going to drink a lot less and need a lot less of it because it's such high quality.
Perfect. So 3 servings. So that puts me about 170 grams of carbs, 25 grams of protein, and about 25 grams of fat for this whole bowl. So that's however many calories. I'll do the math in the end. I'll add like a counter. Like
super important.
It was kind of confusing a little bit last time. So each meal, I'll just write out the macros, and then at the end of the day, I'll write out the total. So
how many grams of sauna sweat?
I don't know, 5 minutes.
Do we need to drink?
However long
do you
it
have
takes
to
me
lick?
to get this down, and then go do cardio. So this is the pre-cardio meal. Fasted, it's not going to make a fucking difference. And if you're bulking,
Are you
I
gonna
think a big
replenish your sodium macronutrient by licking the sweat as you work out off
breakfast,
your
or at
arm?
least a moderately sized breakfast, is going to make it a bit easier. Because you got to remember, if you do no breakfast, and like let's say you're going to school, so
When do you
don't
think
eat
Sam
anything
Sulek
before
will
This guy's the number
die?
one yapper.
then that means you've only got
He's probably
from
not gonna
lunch
live long.
till whenever you go to sleep. That's your window to eat. Whereas the dude who had a big ass breakfast, his window is going to be the complete day. So let's just jump to whatever I eat next, the post cardio meal. All right. So apart from any, maybe tweets, apart from any treats or anything that I might have before I go train, this will pretty much be the pre-workout meal. This is one I've kind of been loving. So obviously, I actually go out of my way, cook steak. Usually I'm kind of lazy. I like getting a lot of pre-made food, like a Costco.
Yeah, he really eats like shit. So, some nice cancer-causing red meat, and I don't know what that is. That looks like it might be mashed potatoes.
Huge 15-pound turkey breast, and just cut chunks off. But the steaks I've been loving. So about a pound of steak, 100 grams of protein. I'd usually just do one of these, like 8 ounces. But since breakfast was kind of lower on protein, I'll just...
Our natural diet is carnivore.
Hey guys, I'm here
It's
with
not.
Roberta Capsalis. We're overlooking the beautiful Aegean Sea over Marathon Bay. We are at the Greek Goes Keto Carnivore Resort and Retreat rather. And Roberta is going
Jesus, he's going senile.
to show us a low carb, ketogenic, and potentially carnivore recipe. And what are you going to be making for us today?
Well, even though we are Greek Ghost Keto, we're gonna prepare.
Tiramisu.
So that's a sheep yogurt. And it's
So we're gonna make more. Thank you. Always.
How about no?
Okay, I'm going to make a little quote-unquote carnivore pudding, more or less. This is for those that want to expand their diet a little bit.
Carnivore pudding. What the fuck?
Okay, so let's get some ingredients ready. So I'm going to be doing all this one-handed, so I've kind of got everything prepared for things I need 2 hands for. And so ingredients, so already in the blender are a dozen eggs and...
Bro, you been acting like you hate every second of streaming lately and act hella annoyed with everyone. How about just giving up and going to bed until you actually want to do it again? Or go punch a carnist or something till you feel better, I don't know.
I'm not getting annoyed with people, I'm just sick and depressed at the same time. But I'm not annoyed with anyone. Thanks for the donation, my name is Bitchard.
And I've got 6 tablespoons of fat. You can use tallow, in this case.
Sorry, how in the fuck does, like, eggs equate to pudding? Like, what is this?
I'm using lard today. I know some people will be worried about polyunsaturated fats.
Ew.
But I'm not as concerned about
So, eggs and lard.
that. I'll add to this. I'll add a little bit of salt here, just to help with the flavor a little bit. I'm using this red and real salt stuff.
That's not going to help with the flavor.
I'm going to throw a little bit of vanilla in there, just about eyeball, about a teaspoon or so. And then I'm going to use a sweetener. I'm using this monk fruit, so a couple.
Yes, monk fruit on the carnivore diet. What a fucking moron.
Just a few drops in there. And then to that, I'm going to add some boiling water. So I'm going to boil this to that. So
dude, like, how do you fucking look at this and then not question what you're doing with your life?
Dairy is on.
This is not pudding. This is mashed up eggs.
So anyway, I'd say speed that up.
Oh my
Pretty
god.
I'm gonna stop.
It's literally blended up eggs, and he's calling it fucking pudding. That's so fucking disgusting. What?
Grass-fed tallow, or.
And then he's adding cinnamon to it.
Pork. If you try it out.
Oh my god, dude. That is so gross. What are they doing? Jessica donated $2. Let me see.
Are you ready, kids? Do-do-do-do. Now slap your hands. Now spread those wings. Do-do-do-do. Feather your bangs. Shake your buns. That's nice. Now think about your dad. What's your dad like? I want to meet that dad. Slap your face. Slap your friend. Get sexy, kids. Do-do-do-do. Stinks in here. Smells like meat. Rotten meat. Kids, why would you bring that rotten meat in here of all places? Kids, you stupid motherfuckers. What the hell's wrong with you, kids? Kids, you gotta
How
keep
would
your...
you respond to the argument Shawn Baker gave to Nutrivore about how he eats less animals because he only eats the equivalent of about 2 cows? Seems like bullshit, but I don't know how to articulate why it's stupid. Hope you're feeling better. I'm convinced James Wade wants to have gay butt sex with Frank Tufano. That is why he subjects us to his dog shit content. We already know James is a homosexual from the thousands of dollars he has paid Richard to do those god-awful twerk dances.
Alright, well thanks for the donation, cum. Yeah, so Shawn literally doesn't have any evidence that he's only paying, like, that there's only 2 deaths involved with, you know, the food he eats per year. If you actually look at, like, harvest deaths plus, you know, like, the amount of animals that get displaced, forests that have to be cut down, natural native wildlife that gets affected with cattle ranching, there's no way only 2 deaths occur. Like 2 cows per year have to die, and that's the only deaths involved with his food. So it's just not possible. Thanks for the donation though, OmniVegan. Richard is gay, donate $2. Bitchard, please watch and react. Oh my god. Wow. That's a good detective. Thanks for the donation, Richard's gay.
Meat ice cold. I know you like your bologna soft, but if it gets too warm, it's gonna spoil and start to stink the place up. And I know you don't want that. So come on, do it for me. Keep that meat cool. And chill out.
Alright, that was weird.
All right, what if you're feeling a little tired, sluggish, lightheaded, weak when you first start a carnivore diet? Well, most of the time that has to do with one of 2 issues, either dehydration.
Dude, this shirt makes no fucking sense. There's like this jacked cow. Well, what the fuck do cows eat? Like they only eat plants. It's so fucking dumb, dude.
So you need to up your fluid and electrolyte status. You need the electrolytes to help you to hang on to the fluids. And then also, you're probably just under eating, so make sure.
Oh, so the diet that humans evolved to eat that's natural for us dehydrates you, and you need to take a bunch of supplements so you're not dehydrated anymore. That makes sense.
Sure you're eating enough. You know, you might have to kind of force yourself to eat enough, and those usually take care of it for most people.
What a fucking moron. Dude, Shawn Baker is just so stupid.
Day 22 of 30 days of the carnivore diet. Do I need electrolytes on the carnivore diet? Part 3. In the last video, I showed you symptoms of low electrolytes, your 3 options to fix them.
Yeah, again, Oh, the carnivore diet is what we evolved to eat, but I get dehydrated and my electrolyte balance is fucked, and I start getting irregular heartbeats. I feel dizzy, tired all the time, muscle spasms, so I have to take a bunch of electrolyte supplements to fix that. But it's our natural diet.
And how to get your electrolytes from food. If you want to try adding electrolytes, it's a good idea to start adding sodium first. Half a teaspoon of salt has 1,000 milligrams of sodium. Start slowly by adding a quarter teaspoon per day. Here's my top 5 pre-made electrolytes that you can buy online. LMNT has 1,000 milligrams sodium, 200 milligrams potassium, and 60 milligrams magnesium. Dr.
Yeah, that's going to be great for your blood pressure.
Berg's electrolyte powder has 40
Oh, Dr. Berg, yes. The fucking scam artist who's a crazy whack job Scientologist.
milligrams sodium, 1,000 milligrams potassium, and 120 milligrams magnesium. Redmond's Relight is right in the middle with 810 milligrams sodium, 400 milligrams potassium, and 50 milligrams magnesium. This one from Trace Minerals is high in magnesium, and this one from Keto Chow Daily Minerals has a good amount of all three. In the next video, I'll show you how to make your own at home. And this is what I had to eat today. See you on day 2.
These people are so stupid. I hope they choke on their next meals. They're just pieces of crap.
And I love my fanboys and fangirls.
Yes, you are quite famous. Thanks for the donation, Sam.
Double up.
Yeah, bro, only three cups of milk, low on protein. This looks actually reasonable. I'm surprised people can even do the prepped food stuff, because when you cook something fresh, like, it's so much tastier. Like, I can't even really eat like leftovers. I just don't like, unless I was like really hungry and starving. And even then, if I had a plate of leftovers, I'd only eat like half of it because it just doesn't taste good.
And then a pre-made kind of I forget the brand, but it's
Steve is really tour guide guy man response video to loaner box. Can we watch later?
Guys. Maybe. Maybe we'll watch that tonight. Thanks for that donation, Grey Knight.
It's like a 5-serving thing of mashed potatoes. So all this adds up. I already tracked it on my phone. I'm going to have to pull it back up. But 100 grams of protein, 20-ish grams of fat, maybe a little more with all the avocado oil I cooked it in. And then this is going to be about 90 grams of carbs, maybe 14 grams of fat, if I remember right.
I mean, avocado oil, you know, it's always questionable quality. It's not reliable, and it's not a saturated fat. It's not the healthiest oil to cook with.
Yeah, Frank thinks saturated fat is good for you for some reason, even though literally every single randomized trial in existence has shown replacing saturated fat with poly or monounsaturated fats reduces risk of heart disease and all-cause mortality. So, yeah, don't do what Frank recommends. You should be cooking with oils like avocado oil rather than like butter or tallow or lard or coconut oil.
At least he's got some beef in there. Buying like pre-made mashed potatoes, who knows what's in there? I highly doubt they only use potatoes and butter. If they do, it's actually not bad, but it's also possible.
No, mashed potatoes with butter is bad for you.
Well, they put like vegetable seed oils and chemical flavorings and preservatives in it. So why don't you just make it yourself and eat? I mean, this is way above and beyond anything this guy would ever do.
You are wrong. Meat for life.
All right, folks. So apparently a few months ago, there was a person, I guess her name goes by the name of Beth, who runs I guess a relatively large YouTube channel, about 300,000 followers. It's like a 50+ kind of health and beauty podcast. And
Wait. Heart disease reversal diet? Did the carnivore diet cause my stroke? Yeah, it probably fucking did.
having a stroke, and now she had been doing a carnivore diet for I think a year or so, maybe 2 years at the time of her stroke, and she has now, you know, said that I'm no longer going to do any carnivore diet. I'm transitioning to a more of a plant-based diet to decrease my risk for ischemic stroke. And so people wanted to get my sort of thoughts on that. And first of all, absolutely, you know, I sure feel bad for anybody that has a stroke. Fortunately, she seems to have recovered from it with, I think, minimal sequelae from that. Now, the question is, you know, was it caused by being on a carnivore diet? Now, the real answer is,
well, the real answer is she's probably eating shitty her entire life, and the carnivore diet was just the cherry on top. But yeah, if it was an ischemic stroke, then yeah, the dietary pattern of eating lots of saturated fat, cholesterol, and not a lot of fiber, that certainly caused her ischemic stroke.
We have no real way of knowing, Interestingly,
No real way of knowing, even though we have, large prospective cohorts showing that people who eat more red meat, more saturated fat, they have higher risk of stroke.
And I don't know all the details here, but what I do know is that she was told that the reason for her stroke was due to a small hole in her heart. And so people are like, well, what is that all about, a small hole in the heart? Well, most likely it was something called a PFO, a patent foramen ovale. And so when we are, developing as a baby in the womb or a fetus in the womb, we don't have lungs that are breathing, right? And so our circulation has to bypass the lungs. And so the way it does that is through a hole that connects the left and the right side of the heart in the upper part, the atriums. But when we're born, that hole is supposed to close down, and sometimes it doesn't close all the way. So you have this little bit of extra blood flow that goes back and forth, and it's kind of irregular blood flow, which can sometimes lead to the formation of clots, right? And of the 600,000 ischemic strokes that occur, and this is what she apparently had, an ischemic stroke. What is an ischemic stroke? Well, it means that the circulation to part of the brain has...
What's funny too is, if this was an ischemic stroke caused by a blood clot, well, a high-fat diet will cause greater platelet aggregation. It makes your blood thicker. So it would still contribute to that type of ischemic stroke.
Been compromised. Either a clot goes up there and clogs things up, or perhaps a piece of atherosclerosis, some heart disease or disease in the neck breaks off and goes up into the head. And she ended up having, she ended up undergoing TPA. So there was the so-called clot buster drugs, which break the clot up very quickly, which fortunately allowed her to probably recover with very little, long-lasting symptoms. Thankfully for her. But the issue of those 600,000 ischemic strokes that occur every year, about a third of them are so-called cryptogenic, meaning they don't seem to be coming from atherosclerotic plaque. There's something else, things like these PFOs, these patent foramen ovales and things like that. So, the fact that the doctor told her that it was probably from that probably means they assessed her for, clogged arteries from atherosclerotic disease. Maybe they did a carotid Doppler ultrasound. Again, I don't know all the details of her story, but it sounds like they...
What's funny is Shawn has flat out admitted that the carnivore diet causes heart disease or increases your risk of heart disease. So after admitting that, why is he trying to cope and say this woman's stroke wasn't because of her carnivore diet and it was because of some other issue? He's already admitted it. Kid Boo, $22, watch this. Now you have to, and don't be a pussy, watch the whole thing. Oh my god.
Stay you please debate this retard. He is the most smug and irritating YouTuber I've ever watched. If you embarrassed him, it might be the best day of my life. Start the video at 1:06 and 20 seconds.
I'm not watching Bart K. He is a fucking whack job. I've refused to debate him. Main reason being he doxes people. So he's debated Dr. Ricky before, he's debated Michelle Lowe, and he lost those two debates, and because he lost those debates, he doxed those two people. He doxes anybody who beats him in a debate, so I'm not going to debate him. I don't want my address leaked and shit. He's also just a crazy fucking whack job, and he's just a grifter, and he's trying to make money through Patreon dollars by making this garbage fucking content, so he can just have fun with that. I'm not going to bother wasting my time with him. Thanks for the donation, I'm Negra.
A little bit of butter, crushed garlic. Now we can set this aside. I'm cracking in 3 eggs. Our steak and eggs are done, but we need to finish it with some rice. Mixed vegetables, soy sauce, oyster sauce, dark soy sauce, and then we finish with a ton of crispy garlic. Morning, everyone.
am I
We're making
watching
steak
this?
and eggs for breakfast.
Yeah, this guy eats like shit. So hopefully he dies of a fucking heart attack or he chokes on his next meal. These people are fucking morons.
They might have ruled out those things and said it wasn't from atherosclerosis, it was from a clot. And where did that clot come from? Likely secondary. Reached out to some other carnivore.
Whatever.
It is very addicting. Melt 2 sticks of butter and you're going to...
He is eating raw meat.
Well, it's not cooked all the way through, so it's medium rare. But thanks for the donation, Sam.
brown it. It takes about 10 minutes. Be careful not to burn it. Take a small cookie sheet. This is smaller than a regular cookie sheet, lined with parchment paper. Get it all in there and top it with bacon sprinkles. Then you're going to stick it in your freezer for a few hours. After it's all set, you're going to pull it out and then just break it apart, just like you would with bark.
Oh my god, what are these people eating?
You've got the caramelized brown bits on the bottom and delicious bacon on top.
Oh my god, these people are fucking retarded. How are they not dead eating this? Okay, I'm not watching that girl's videos. She's a fucking
This video is
piece of
sponsored
crap.
by Carnivore Companion. Hey there, my meaty friends. This is Reed, aka Carnivore
Pork rind cinnamon rolls.
Chef. I know for a fact that everyone needs a treat from time to time. If you're not one of those people, feel free to let me know in the comments. But for the rest of you, throw a like on this video if you feel the same way. Whenever I go off and eat something that's way outside of the diet, I end up regretting it for a few days at a time. But what if I didn't have to? What if I could feel like I'm eating something that looks and tastes kind of like a cinnamon roll? I think I will. If you passed by a Cinnabon in your local mall recently and just had some full body convulsions to stop, to sneak in to make these, but you can if you want to.
This guy is overweight as shit, and he's eating this type of fucking garbage for some reason. Like he's still overweight. He's on a carnivore diet, but he's not even, like, slim. So he's just burning the candle on both ends. Yeah, I'm gonna be fat and eat, like, absolute shit, so I can die when I'm, like, 40.
Grab a bowl and fork that in there real good like. After that, grab 5 eggs. When you grab them, smack. Now
Oh my
we need to work
God,
on the
dude.
buttery cinnamon center. Take 1 stick of butter and...
By the way, how the fuck is butter a thing on the carnivore diet? It's butter. It's a dairy product.
Like always, you can be as meticulous with this part as you want to be, but just
Oh my god,
spread
dude.
the butter, calling normal size all the frosting out.
This is just horrendous. I don't know how these...
This video is sponsored by...
Like, how do they even eat like this? Thanks for the donation, Grandam.
You know, what type of water were the potatoes cooked in? I mean, I don't think anyone else on YouTube has cooked potatoes in bottled mineral water like I have.
But, you know, that's about right. So, I've never really been a huge proponent of really hitting meals, per se. That's one factor which I kind of differentiate in terms of my, let's just call it rich piana similarities. Because calories are calories, dude. You can't eat something and have it not count. That's one thing that I think people really kind of have to understand. Like, if you're dieting and you're like, okay, I'm going to have this as a treat. Or even worse, let's say you're not really doing a strict diet. You're just kind of a layman kind of character. And, you get what I'm saying. You're not crazy invested. And you're like, yeah, I'll have a salad for lunch. Yeah, I'll just have a couple eggs for breakfast. Right? In your mind, you're like, I did good today. And then it's 8 o'clock. You eat a bunch of pizza that was in the fridge left over, a couple scoops of ice cream. That just 1 hour of snacking before you go to bed will completely offset all the quote unquote good that you did that day. So that's kind of why I sort of took a bit of an anal kind of stance about tracking every kind of calorie. So in a way, this is almost, if you wanted to call it that, you could say meal 3. But after cardio, I stopped in the vending machine at the...
Oh my god, I can't. My brain is too fried today to deal with this, guys. If you're like binging and eating crap food at night, it's because you're not getting what you need in your diet. If you can stick to, you know, higher quality foods and eat what you should be for 2 or 3 weeks and get the right vitamin and mineral supplements, you're not going to have those cravings. I thought...
The idea that you're not going to have cravings if you're getting proper nutrition, that's just nonsense. There's a variety of reasons for why you'll have food cravings, and lack of vitamins and minerals in your diet doesn't seem to really cause food cravings. Monkey Ass donated $2. Let me see.
Oh, it's good. Oh, it tastes so good.
I'm not watching that.
I never get pussy. I've never got any pussy. It's too nice. I'm always so nice to the girls, and they just end up dating these guys, and they're terrible to them. They never give me pussy. I really want a blowjob. I've never had one. It's because I pay for the meal, and afterwards they don't respect me because I'm too nice to them. I always offer to take them places, give them rides, and do chores for them, and open doors. They never give me any pussy. This one girl, I bought her this coat that she wanted. She said that she liked the coat, and I just thought if I bought it for her, she would finally give me something. I don't even have to touch my penis. I just want to eat the I don't even care. I just want to make girls feel good. I don't understand. I'm so respectful. I say, I'll lick your pussy. You don't have to do anything. I just want to feel it. Are they closed? Fuck, man.
Our store is closed.
Fuck this. Fucking shit. It's one of my bagel. Now I'm pissed. Now I'm gonna go get some pussy. And you look pretty good. You look pretty good to me. Now it's time for some pussy. And to be honest, you look pretty good. Here, let me do it. I can't even get a bagel sandwich!
I want some McDonald's.
Fuck you.
Osmosis Jones with 20. Sam, how do I deal with a woman coworker? She interrupts everyone at work
Beat
and
that monkey ass.
acts extremely obnoxious, then gets mad when we bust her chops in retaliation.
It's time to beat that monkey ass.
Lateralus 88. What did the monkey do that made him deserve having his ad beat?
Sometimes you don't. Sometimes don't even need to do shit but they had that ass beat. Just be around at the wrong time and shit. Sometimes you be around at the wrong time, you get your ass beat. Boy, I'll beat your ass right now. You ain't had to do shit to me. I'll beat your monkey ass. I'm gonna beat this monkey ass.
Anon 123454. Thank you for the 10, sir. Thank you. Mike B.
You can give me $10, motherfucking dollar, but I still beat your motherfucking monkey ass.
Mike B, thank you for the 10. Coach Raff with the 15. Fellas, I think I need to call off an engagement with a girl I love who has very different values from me and different ideas on our children. Could use some advice on how to end things.
Time to beat a bitch ass. Send her a video. Say you got a funny video to send her.
Yeah.
And then link to this clip. But what you know you can't. You ain't got shit for me, bitch. I'm the motherfucking man around here. I could be in love with your ass, but kick your ass, see you did a dog right away. I'll beat your ass. You just send her that with no explanation and then just never talk to her again? Hey babe, saw this today. It's over. Anime-inspired workout challenges with Jesse James. Why is there a guy in the video? Get that guy out of the video. Monkey ass. I'll beat your ass.
All right, that's all good.
I thought he was going to explain something that I'd actually agree with, which is, 6 to 9 meals a day that some crazy bodybuilders do. They used to do that because they were so hungry and they were cutting and restricting their calories. So for them, it was better to break up, the beef and rice into 2 or 3 meals instead of one large meal, because
If you have more frequent, smaller meals throughout the day, that tends to increase your appetite. The whole idea behind eating more frequently is to get in more food. And there's an idea that if you just eat constantly, you're going to be in a more anabolic state. It's not something that'll help you diet.
They're digesting and metabolizing so fast, they'd rather be hungry for shorter periods of time on small.
Would you agree with Zerka on this? Smash them kids into the pavement?
For you cucks watching, the first thing the lion does when he wins, the new pride, he the babies, the cubs, because it's not his DNA. Yeah. So if you're raising someone else's child, here's what you gotta do.
Yes, if you get into a relationship with a woman that already has children, you should kill their children, just like lions do. Thanks for the donation, nigga.
Smaller meal than hungry for a longer period of time on a larger meal. That's more relevant to restricting calories, because when you're trying to gain weight and you're eating a lot of food, you can't really even eat 6, 7, 8 meals if you're eating as much as possible at any of those meals.
The gym. 2 things of juice, 60 grams of carbs total, followed by 2 big-ass crunch bars, 400 calories total. So that puts me
Bro, I can't.
Whatever I'm at now. But I'm sure once I finish this, plus a bunch of water with electrolytes and a couple of amino acids, I'm going to want to take a pretty...
Dude, Sam eats like a fucking 12-year-old wishes he could eat.
Substantial nap. But afterwards, right, once that nap is taken, and most of the carbs from this...
I say the meal's reasonable, and he's having like orange juice and crunch bars, dude. I mean, juice in general, even if you have high quality organic juice, it's pretty hard on the gut candida. It can cause dysbiosis really easily because it's a lot of sugar.
Eating sugary foods does not cause candida. Candida is usually caused by compromised immune system. It's not just from eating sugary foods.
And it has a lot of surface area in the stomach. It's just digested and absorbed too fast. I mean, crunch bars and candy bars, you'd be surprised in some context, like the ingredients in the candy bar, at least they don't use a crazy amount of vegetable seed oil sometimes, but there can be a lot of crap in them depending on which one it is.
Mashed potatoes are flowing around my system, plus I'm fully hydrated from finishing off this tub of water. Then I'm going to feel super fucking energized for legs. The last thing I'd want to do, and this is why I don't train early in the morning, why I like cardio in the morning, lift later at night, it's just because right in the morning, give me one moment. Right in the morning, that's when you're in your, well, you're literally in a fasted state.
I mean, don't they inject insulin after every meal, Isn't that something important that you can include in the lawsuit when you sue him for getting fat and having a heart attack on his diet? That he forgot to mention you need to take insulin every meal when you're eating this?
State from going the whole night without eating. So if that's when you have to train, I guess you just have to deal with it. But I'm going to feel much better, stronger, more endurance, just going to have a better pump and a better workout. If I wait for the whole day of, a substantial amount of calories and meals and carbs and
Does
water,
Hostile sell performance enhancing? What do they sell? Is it just supplements?
electrolytes, because right in the morning, I'm not very hydrated. If anything, I'm dehydrated. You lose a couple of pounds every night. I guess it depends on how big you are, but just by breathing, you're breathing out water. You're going to wake up literally more dehydrated than you were at night. So for me, it just makes sense. Tons of food during the day, fuel up, super hydrated, and then when I actually get into my lift, that's when I'm like, okay, gas tank's at F, gas tank's at full. I'm ready to try to empty that thing as hard as I can, aka, push every set as hard as I can. So that's kind of the plan for tonight. So if this is the last actual meal, then we'll get straight to the car talk. But
Yeah, that's a little subjective, but it depends on your overall lifestyle. Like if you work a manual labor job, Yeah, if you go to the gym at night after doing manual labor all day, like your workout's gonna suck. That's just how it is. Or if someone like sleeps really well compared to someone who doesn't sleep really well, regardless, that person with overall better lifestyle factors is going to be stronger at any point in the day.
He's gonna be pretty sick.
Or even
I'm going to a gym that has a really nice
someone who injects testosterone. It doesn't matter.
It's like cable loaded, but we'll just talk about that when we're there. If I talked about the workout every meal, this would be like a 2-hour video. But this will just fucking disappear in the next 20-ish minutes. I'm sure I'll probably take a nap right here and just sit down on my phone. And when I wake up, I'll be ready to take the pre and get out of here. Now that.
Imagine being so like insulin damaged that you fall asleep with a Rode microphone frying your brain. So now I think like the next like 45 minutes of this is workout. So we're gonna skip all of this workout stuff.
So I forgot to add intra-workout was a...
I really tried to get you a good Maui, but Joey ended up stealing the scene.
Oh my god, so orange. Whoa. Oh my god. Holy shit.
Maui and Joey.
Those are some good fucking cats. Thanks for the donation, Leland, though.
100 grams of carbs in the hostile bottle. Yeah, I forgot about that. I was doing the blue Gatorade. You know, if you're curious why the cluster dextrin shake isn't...
Doesn't this guy look a little like Jacob Elordi? And forgive me for being mean, but like the ladies are obsessing over him. Maybe there's a little too much estrogen in the water when they see tall dudes, but like I could have the most botched eye surgery ever and I would still look better than that guy. Anyway.
Back yet, the post-workout instant.
Oh my god.
100 grams of carbs plus 20-ish grams of protein. I'm kind of saving it for later. That's I don't want to call it like a last resort, but
I think he said he had a dextrose shake. And I will mention we have Flextrose on OregonSupplements.com. High quality organic dextrose, only natural one on the market. Usually,
I don't know what the fuck organic dextrose. It's literally just starch. So what does it matter if it's fucking organic?
It's made with like low quality, chemically infused corn, agrochemical, herbicide and pesticide and fungicide infused corn.
Way it kind of is. I mean, it's a super easy, like pretty much 500 calories, just like that. So I might save that for later. Like once 5,000 or so calories gets a little bit more difficult, or let's say not difficult, but it becomes my new baseline. Then adding that big shake post-workout, that'll definitely put me over the edge.
Did he say what he's eating?
Maintaining growth. So I kind of jumped the gun a little bit while the water was boiling for the ramen. I was already picking at the flank steak that my dad made earlier. So
yeah, so more red meat and ramen noodles are obviously terrible for you, just super high in sodium.
Basic premise, 12 ounces of flank steak, 2 packs of chicken ramen, so 100-ish grams of carbs right here, 14 of fat, 75 grams of protein, and about, I think I said 10. I might actually go back and then change it. It's probably more like at least 17 grams of fat.
Stop denying nature.
Yeah, this is literally the only lift he'll ever show himself doing because it's the only lift he's even moderately good at. So at this point, he can't even do like barbell deadlifts. He's doing trap bar deadlifts with a high handle because it just gives him a ton of extra leverage. His deadlift isn't even that good anymore. Like, it's fucking hilarious. If you ever watch any of his other training videos like this, like, he won't even fucking do like bench press or anything or show it. He'll only show himself doing like push-ups because he's weak as a kitten for any other fucking lift. And this is just not impressive at all. Like, you can see how upright he is when he initiates the pull. He is just using a trap bar with high handles, and he just has very long arms, too. So you gonna show the stupid push-ups? Why was the thumbnail... Yeah, why were there fucking push-ups in the thumbnail, and then it's... Wait, what? Like a different video's fucking playing. Okay, he's stupid. Well, anyway, his training is pretty much just trash. He can't lift like anything other than just trap bar deadlifts. Let's see.
First, portion out your meat. I do 10 ounces of meat per shake. Then add water. Then you'll blend it up. Then you portion it out to each
There's no way this guy actually eats this.
shaker bottle. Then drink up.
There's no way he eats that. That's just a troll.
Pav, you're a psychopath. Testicle. Brain. Liver. Heart. Eggs. Maple syrup. Honey. Coconut.
Have you heard of the iPorn pics of Taylor Swift? I think people are overreacting. It's not like it's real anyway. It was still hot as fuck, not gonna lie.
Yeah, I've seen it. They're pretty hot. The whole AI porn thing and deepfakes, it's just overblown bullshit. Who fucking cares? Thanks for that, Nation Jezrin.
Oil. Protein. Blend. Drink bitch.
Dude, what a loser. So he eats this shit for what reason exactly? Like, really? He eats this garbage to like have not much muscle and not particularly fit. Okay. The guy doesn't even look like he lifts. Okay, this is just another protein shake video. Whatever. Thanks for that, Nation Grandam.
That.
Hey, at least he's eating a lot more beef. Did he get a check from the Cattlemen's Association? Put steak in every meal. Maybe he'll maybe next video he'll be chopping steak up into pieces and pouring milk over it and having that for breakfast instead of the Chex Mix. It's kind of like so close yet so far, right? Because I have beef with udon noodles every night, but the difference between like the super high quality organic udon noodles I have versus this chicken ramen catastrophe is a lot. You know, you have low quality wheat. You have
This is kind of boring me. Whatever.
that is by
Well, Frank is stupid, but we already knew that.
You say we did not have love to eat meat. This prehistoric nature doc disagrees.
A varied diet. They have a number of adaptations for feeding themselves. Hands that have become nimble and dexterous since they are no longer used for walking on. Thick enamel on their teeth to help them cope with tough or dirty food. And ingenuity. Australopithecus can use basic tools like sticks to dig. The Australopithecus are among them. of the group's hierarchy than the order they get food. Focus diet.
Alright, well, that's good to know. Thanks for the donation, Dodo.
What can I say? I'm famous. Other YouTubers are making videos about me. Some, like Lonobox, have even made 2 videos about me. They are not saying good things, but still, I'm flattered. Lonobox tried to debunk my video about the Nakba. There is a lot to cover, so let's jump right in. He starts by talking a bit about my channel, which is a smart thing to do. To get a good overview, I did the same for his channel and found a lot of pro-Palestinian videos and pro-trans movement videos. Now, this is a really strange combination. I've actually already made a video about this weird progressive Arab love-hate relationship. Progressives love to side with the Palestinians, while the Palestinians hate everything about the progressive, notably the trans movement. A trans woman represented Israel in the Eurovision 25 years ago. Yes, this is how open and inclusive Israeli society is. In many Arab countries,
Grand Dam Donatellers, you're just mad vegan men are feminine. You should be an alpha carnivore meat eater like him.
Hello, and welcome to Cooking with Frangie. I'm your host, Frangelica Tinklebottom, where we take climate, culture, and compassion and make the best vegan recipes on the entire internet. Today we have a special twist, I call it a little Frangie twist on an old vegan.
Oh my god. Dude, I'm gonna die from the cringe. This is worse than Frank.
Classic. You've probably all seen different versions of favorite vegan maple syrup. I want you to use a cast iron, nice crispy bacony flavor. It's so good. Thanks for.
Yeah, I don't think I'll ever be the same after watching that. Thanks for the donation, Grand Dam.
and in Palestine, you could be killed for being trans. Just a small side note before we begin.
This is a video about the 1948 Arab-Israeli War, otherwise known as the Nakba, or the Israeli War of Independence, if that's your thing. So, we're going to talk a good bit about the Nakba, about some of the alternative histories you tend to get from the pro-Israeli side, and why those alternative histories are wrong.
First of all, yes, it is totally my thing to call the 1948 war the Israeli War of Independence. Secondly, saying that my history is history and that your history is alternative history, as Lonobox does here, is perhaps not a great way to start an open-minded discussion. He starts with the story of Deir Yassin. I called it the Battle of Deir Yassin, whereas he calls it the Massacre of Deir Yassin, which actually very clearly demonstrates the power of language and different narratives. My video made reference to a video produced by Vox. In the introduction, they acted as if they were uncovering a huge untold story, the story of Deir Yassin, but as I point out, it is actually the opposite of an untold story. There are very few events in history that have received as much coverage in the media and academia as the story of Deir Yassin. Lonobox leaves out the part where I talk about Vox and instead point out some other events that have more results on Google, but he highlights events that didn't happen during the war in question. If instead of comparing Apple...
If I ever wanted to debate, discuss veganism with you, how would I contact you or do so? Would you even be interested? Not sure if this would ever happen, as I am doing research still and not confident.
Just message me on Instagram. Message me on Instagram, just ask me whatever, and go from there. Thanks for the donation, Untitled Corruption. Banana donate $2. What foods do you get the majority of your daily calories from? Probably sweet potatoes and tofu. Thanks for that donation, Banana. Kenny donated $2. What do you do when you feel anxious for no particular reason? I don't know, nothing in particular. I might watch hentai. I might pet a cat that keeps trying to steal my food. Try not to think about it and just go on about my day. Thanks for the donation, Kenny.
Apples to oranges, you compare apples to apples, by which I mean other events that occurred during this war. Let's say the massacre in Kfar Etzion, in which 130 Jews were murdered by Arabs, or the Hadassah Medical Convoy massacre, in which 80 nurses and doctors were murdered, or the Ben Yehuda bombing, which left 60 Jews dead, or the 220 Jewish civilians who were killed by Arabs' bombing of Jerusalem, you will quickly see that these events in which Arab killed Jews get way less attention in the media and academia. To make it clear, my point is that things have gotten out of proportion when, in the same war, Jews killing...
You'll donate $2. You should get these, check the details in the probs you get even. Has a wild bunch of characters on his channel.
Is get the box laying flat and do the unbox at the figure that's as the one that came on
Is
the front
this
there.
officially
And yes, it's really
licensed?
working. It's too cool.
How did I not hear about this?
She comparison/review on
It's
that
a lot of
one,
accessories.
cracks or creases, and they have printed the tattoo already on the forearm. This one, they look.
Yeah, it's a little off the face. It's close, but it's just a little
darn
off.
good. This one in particular, I can see the likeness to Ellie. She's got a furrowed box, no crazy poses or accessories or anything. If it was made by Hot Toys, would be considered a DX release, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's an okay figure. I'm not super impressed by it. Yeah, I don't think I'd get something like that. I'm just not a huge fan of that figure. The face sculpt is okay, but the body mold is a little weird. What are you doing? Can you stop trying to steal my chips? You're not getting it. Oh, and there's a Prim Prim over here. Hey, Prim Prim. What's going on? Hey, buddy? Yeah, it's a good Prim Prim.
Arabs get so much more attention than the many incidents of Arabs killing Jews. I actually considered not making this video because, in a way, to do so is to fall into the pro-Palestinian trap of talking about what they want to talk about. But I decided it was important to make it because the pro-Palestinian side doesn't have many strong arguments to put forward. They hold on to two stories dating from the 1948 war, Deir Yassin, which was a battle in which a few dozen Arab civilians died, and the bombing of the King David Hotel, which served as a British army base and not a civilian hotel. Watch 100 pro-Palestinian videos, and these are the two historical events that get repeated again and again. So after I told the story of Deir Yassin, he said this:
when they started shooting at Jewish people and allowing Arab irregular forces to launch attacks from the village. Now, unfortunately, Traveling Israel doesn't source any of his claims, nor does he link any references in the description, and okay, it's a YouTube video, but it does mean I have to look pretty hard to find out where his claims are coming from.
First, why work hard? You could just write to me and I would give you my sources. But he does raise a fair question here, and it is one that I'm also asked by my supporters. Why don't I give any references for the claims I make? There are two reasons, the technical one and the substantial one. The technical one is that most of the books I use as sources are written in Hebrew. The time I would need to invest in checking to see if they have been published in English, and even if they have been, finding they are usually not easy to get hold of just isn't worth it for me, especially considering that there are only very few people who want to know all the details. I'd rather get to work on my next videos, but there are two substantial factors here as well. First, I am a tour guide who makes videos on YouTube. This is not a university seminar. When I'm guiding, I try to deliver the main insights with as little distraction from the topic in hand as possible. I can, of course, go much deeper and indulge in some name-dropping of historians and books. In fact, some of the professors who wrote about the War of Independence and the events in Deir Yassin, Benny Morris, Yoav Gilbert, Eliezer Tabor, were actually my university professors, but I don't think that will add much value to the video in this case. But the main reason I don't source my claims is that I almost always talk about general things that are easy to check. I said at the beginning of the video that you wouldn't want to be gay or trans in a Muslim country. I didn't give reference for this statement, but if you want to take a deeper dive, you can ask Google which countries are the worst to be gay in and see for yourself how many of them are Muslim. Nothing of what I say is hidden in secret documents that only I have access to. Most of what I say is obvious and easily accessible to all. But what did I include in the description of my video? I included a link to the Vox video that I was debunking. I think that as a YouTuber, that is the honest thing to do. But Vox doesn't agree with me on this one, apparently, as he didn't add a link to my original video. When he describes the events prior to Deir Yassin, he does mention that the Arabs rejected the partition plan and started the war. I will give him 2 points for that. Most pro-Palestinians somehow ignore the crucial fact that it was the Arabs who rejected the two-state solution and subsequently started the war. However, Vox did miss something important. The Arabs didn't just reject the partition plan because they thought it wasn't fair. They rejected the very idea that the Jews should have a state. More on that soon. So he goes on to say that Israel was on the offensive, which is true. The Jews didn't want a war, but the Arabs forced it upon them. He fails to mention that in the first month of the war, the Arabs killed hundreds of Jewish civilians. Instead, he draws attention to the fact that Israel bought weapons from Czechoslovakia, and that is true. Israel knew that once the British had left on the 14th of May 1948, the local Arabs would be getting help from neighboring Arab states, and then it wouldn't be just a case of Jewish paramilitary groups fighting against Arab paramilitary groups, but 5 Arab armies would be invading Israel, and 5 Arab armies is a different ballgame. Now, if you know a bit of geography, that doesn't make sense, seeing as Israel has only 4 Arab neighbors, Lebanon, Syria, Jordan, and Egypt. So who is the 5th? Iraq. And they sent a very strong army to fight us. There is one thing that unites the Arabs, and that is the hatred of the Jews and Israel. They all fought us with one goal only, to eliminate the Jews, to eliminate the state of Israel, and soon I will prove it. But for now, back to the video.
And the decision to target the village was made in the first days of the month. So, where exactly are these repeated violations of the peace pact? Traveling Israel doesn't really say where this happened, nor does he tell you why he believes that, so we just have to guess.
As I said, you could have written me and I would have given you my sources. My source is a book by Professor Yoav Gilbert called Independence versus Nakba, the Arab-Israeli War of 1948. Fighters from Deir Yassin attacked Jewish neighborhoods on the 2nd of April, and some of them went on attacking the castle on the 8th of April. there was a peace pact, but it was broken at least twice. And another historian called Milstein claims that there was a meeting with the head of the village of Deir Yassin in which he said that he couldn't control the...
Whatever happened to that jackass Primal Edge Health? Can we watch and react? This is proof the Quran is real.
Discover the exquisite...
I don't know what happened to Primal Edge Health. Haven't looked into his channel. So no idea. I suppose we can watch this. Why not? Thanks for the donation, Richard is gay.
Visit beauty of Islam with our exclusive poster collection, designs 9. Back to the channel, if you're new, my name is Bobby. Guys, this video has been going viral lately. The name is Scientists Shocked by Quranic Wonder, a small brain found in the human heart, by the channel Islamic Warning. Alright, let's jump right into it, guys. But before, as always, if you enjoy my content, leave me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and check out the links in the description box. We have brand new merch. And now, with no further ado, let's have a look.
When I was in school, I was taught that the brain is the master organ in the body. But what the new science is showing us is that the brain receives the instructions telling it what to do from our heart.
Alright guys, sorry to disappoint you, but this man is not a scientist. His name is Greg Braden and he is a writer. He's a new age author indeed that was on the television show Ancient Aliens. And in his publications he talks about...
Yeah, so that's just bullshit.
About science, but by scientist he's seen as a pseudoscientist because he has no diploma whatsoever in sciences. He's just a writer that tries to merge spiritual matters and scientific matters. That's it.
The human heart. And this is a relatively new way for science to think about us and our relationship to our bodies.
Yeah, he is not an authority
What
to
we
speak
now
on
know
science.
is that the quality of emotions that we create within our heart
Hell, this doc even says eating meat made us smart.
Nothing short of a coup. Hercules returns to the carcass as top male. At first, the group are unsure how to react to the change of leadership. Gray, meanwhile, nurses his pride in the background. Meat is only a small part of the Australopithecus diet, but it will become more important in the future for more human-like apes.
Sure, Dodo. Thanks for the donation.
The signal that we send to the brain to release the chemistry into our bodies. Every moment
Nighty-night, Aaron P.
of every day,
Sweet dreams.
there's a conversation that is happening between our heart and our brain. It's the inner environment, thoughts, feelings, emotions, and beliefs we know can be either healing or toxic.
Humans commonly believe that the brain is the center of thoughts and controls the entire body. It is responsible for thinking and understanding. On the other hand, the heart is crucial for maintaining blood supply throughout the body. It is vital.
Okay, this is just boring.
This situation, if you look at a map, you will see that Deir Yassin sits on a hill right next to the main road to Jerusalem within the valley. So seen from a strategic military point of view, there was clear justification for conquering the village. There is another good book about the Deir Yassin battle called The Massacre That Never Was by Professor Eliezer Tauber. Now wait, I know what you are thinking. Of course, Israeli historians will say that there was no massacre. So 2 points I want to make here. Professor Tauber based his book primarily on the testimonies of Arabs from Deir Yassin. I will leave 2 or 3 videos with him down below, and I want to show you this short clip about who turned the village into the symbol it is today.
We gathered in Jerusalem at the Hebron gate. We checked who was missing and who had survived. Then the Palestinian leaders arrived, including Dr. Khalidi.
دكتور حسين فخر خالدي فقلت له ايه رأيك كيف نغطي هالموضوع.
I asked Dr. Khalidi how we should cover the story.
أنا رأيي إنه نعطيه.
He said, We must make the most of this. So he wrote a press release stating that at Deir Yassin, children were murdered, pregnant women were raped, all sorts of atrocities.
والاعتداء على الأطفال وكل هالأشياء.
Arab radio stations passed on the false reports, ignoring the protests of the witnesses.
We said there was no rape. He said we have to say this so the Arab armies will come to liberate Palestine from the Jews.
فلسطين من اليوم. وهذا بعتبره أكبر خطأ فادح.
This was our biggest mistake. We did not realize how our people would react. As soon as they heard that women have been raped at Deir Yassin, Palestinians fled in terror.
Grandam donated $2. Let me see.
When there are signs of physical maturity, it becomes permissible for the husband in Islamic law to have marital relationships or consummate the relation with his bride. And this is the example of the Prophet, peace be upon him.
Do you know what precocious puberty is?
Starting puberty unusually early. Like,
is there anything in Islam that prevents you from, a man marrying a 5-year-old that started precocious puberty?
You can arrange a marriage even as an infant, but that doesn't mean that sex is allowed.
Could a man have a marriage to a 5-year-old, consummate it if she started precocious puberty?
If she starts showing signs of physical maturity, then yes, that's permissible, as I said.
What about age 4?
If there are signs
3.
of, so this is something that becomes biologically impossible because
I have a
puberty,
study
there are
that shows
no.
it goes as early as 11 months.
Well, that's something that the parents would not. See, the thing about Islamic marriage is that parents are involved at these ages, and when you look at the marriage of the Prophet.
Fuel donated $2. How did you originally find Frank's gay past? Did he do nothing to cover it up? Well, he deleted his Chatterbait account, but somebody sent me his Chatterbait. I think it was on like Twitter or something. Somebody messaged me, and they just shared his Chatterbait videos that were re-uploaded. Thanks for the donation, Fuel.
When's the best age to get married?
Let go.
10.
What?
What about 20? 50?
Wait.
100? When?
There's no set age. As Muslims, we believe that marriage is only possible once the man and the woman reach puberty. Once they reach puberty and the man and the woman are able to consent to marriage, they can get married.
What if they want to stay single?
Then they can stay single.
That is not true. You can get married in Islam with children.
Marriage is highly encouraged, not obligated.
Ooh, thank God I'm married then.
To whom?
You!
Oh, yeah.
When's the best age?
Yeah, that is the gayest couple I think I've ever fucking seen.
Surah An-Nisa says men can hit women. I mean, husbands can hit wife. This is if it's beneficial only. And hitting, it's not the hitting that we know. Hitting is like this. Let me show you. Like this. That's the hitting that's meant. And that's the last solution. The first solution is that if it's beneficial.
Yeah, that's total bullshit. This is just pure cope. If you actually read the Quran and some hadiths, Prophet Muhammad hit his wives so hard that he'd knock the wind out of them, give them bruises. That's just total bullshit.
In 2007, the young 16-year-old girl Aqsa Parvez was here in Canada killed by her father and her brother for dishonoring the family. What did she do? I don't know whether she had sex outside of marriage or whether she had a boyfriend. Whatever she did, she angered her family members that much, her male family members, that they wanted to take her life. Now, is this allowed in Islam? No. Islamic fatwa websites and Islamic teachings say it's explicitly forbidden for a man to kill his daughter. In fact, the Quran talks about men that used to bury their daughters alive, and on the Day of Judgment, they'll be asked about how, why this innocent person was killed. Even if she committed zina outside of marriage, and she's not married, obviously, a young girl like that, she would have to have a trial and there'd be a court case, and then the worst that would happen to her is she would be lashed according to the Quran, but she wouldn't be killed. So this is actually forbidden in Islam. So let me ask a question. How is it that if this is forbidden in Islam, this keeps happening in Muslim countries and Muslim cultures? Leave an answer in the comments below.
It's because it's not forbidden. I don't know where he got that idea. Honor killings absolutely are acceptable in Islam. There are situations where you can kill your own children to preserve your family's honor. Thanks for that donation, Grandam.
رادوا على هالشهر إلا ما شفنا إلا بدأ يرحل.
They ran away from all our villages.
اللي كان موجود فيها.
Deir Yassin was a propaganda bomb that exploded in the hands of its Arab makers. Instead of pressuring more Arab troops to come to help the local Arabs, it made the local Arabs run away. Lonobox puts a lot of quotes in his video, and almost all of them are from one book by Israeli historian Benny Morris. I want to bring another Benny Morris quote that Lonobox chose not to include, that in a way summarizes it all. There was no Zionist plan or blanket policy of evicting the Arab population or of ethnic cleansing, and the demonization of Israel is largely based on lies, much as the demonization of the Jews during the past 2,000 years.
Women are such pussy holy shit.
We're in deep shit. Someone made AI porn of me, and the police officer said they can't do anything about it. The phone call to the non-emergency line lasted 4 minutes. He didn't even ask for my name. He told me to block them and hope they don't contact me again, like I hadn't already blocked them by the time I decided to report it. The person has taken a photo of me for my Instagram, put it through an AI generator, and it looked sickeningly realistic. It didn't look altered at all. Even the fingers were fine. It was so uncanny valley. I'm shaking. I don't know what to do. Is this really what life as a woman has come to? Yeah, women are fucking cowardly losers who have no real problems, so they have to fucking post this bullshit online. Honestly, like seriously, women are the biggest fucking pussies imaginable. Imagine a fucking guy making a post like this. Somebody made an AI porn and they can see my willy. What am I gonna do? Like, oh my god. Yeah, and just watch as this becomes more and more commonplace. The world is not going to come to an end.
Has been based on lies, and there is a connection between the two. Now, I can go on to debunk most of his claims. I can refute each of his quotes with one of my own. But after Deir Yassin, he moves on to the city of Haifa, where I admit I was dead wrong. I said that Moshe Carmel, the mayor of Haifa, asked the Arabs of Haifa to stay and not flee. And Lonobox was right to correct me here. It was not Moshe Carmel. He was the commander of the armed forces in Haifa. Shabtai Levi was the mayor. He's the one that asked the local Arabs to stay. I got the names wrong. I don't think that this is a particularly dramatic mistake to make. The important thing is that the Jewish mayor called upon the Arabs to stay, and that you won't find a single case of Arab leadership calling for the Jews to stay. Now, I thought I was making a good point here, but as I was thinking about it, I came up with a much better, more important point to make. One that I'm not sure Lonobox thought of. In his video, he mentions the specific names of Israeli leaders many times. He mentions Ben Gurion about 10 times, Menachem Begin a few times, Yitzhak Rabin and others. But not once does he mention the names of the leaders of the Arabs in Palestine. Don't you think that it is a bit strange that in a 46 minutes video about the war, he goes into the smallest details, yet he doesn't mention the names of any Arab leaders? For instance, he takes his time explaining the use of loudspeakers. In my video, I brought up the fact that the Jewish forces brought along loudspeakers to warn the locals to get out before the coming battle.
All right, hey Jasmine, are you using the PS5? Okay, we'll stop using it. Huh? Yeah, I want to play games now. How much longer are you going to use it for? 30 minutes. Alright, I'm gonna go take a piss. I'll be right back.
Dumbass, please and thank you go a long way. Try being nice to Jasmine. She already has the divorce papers ready and is waiting on a veg fest to have them served to you, because she's afraid you'll beat her. Free Prim, BMO, Finn, Mai and the rabbits.
Thanks for the advice. Appreciate the donation. VG is getting divorced. The most likely thing that will end my marriage is me committing suicide. Don't think Jasmine's gonna break up with me anytime soon, but you know.
In Deir Yassin, think about it. The Lessi, the most extreme militant Jewish group, intended to bring loudspeakers to the battlefield so that civilians would have time to get away. I wish the Arabs would do the same. Dear Jews, I'm a suicide bomber and I'm going to blow up this bus. All civilians should please get off at the next stop. Box talks about the loudspeakers for a minute and a half, not saying that I made it up. He basically agrees with me, but what he does say is that the truck with the loudspeakers got stuck on the way.
What? It's me.
and it is debatable whether the Arabs actually heard the message. However, as for mentioning the Arab leaders, he doesn't do that at all. Of course, I don't know why Lonobox made this priority, but I do want to make an educated guess that might explain it. Could it be that it is important to him to depict the Palestinians as victims? There is no higher virtue than victimhood in the progressive chart, and because they are poor victims who have no control over their lives, they were subjected to atrocities perpetrated by the evil Israelis. This seems to be the narrative Lonobox wants to promote. The only active response left to the Arabs after saying no to an Arab state and starting a war to eliminate the Jews was to flee. The thing is that the Arabs in Palestine did actually have a leadership. I think it is kind of important to say a word or two about it. So the main leader of the Arabs was Mufti Amin al-Husseini. Before the war, he spent the 1940s in Germany with his friends. This is what he said: "Our fundamental condition for cooperating with Germany was a free hand to eradicate every last Jew from Palestine in the Arab world. I asked Hitler for an explicit..."
TFP Student Action Debate Highlights.
But you can't tell me how many genders there are. I'm sorry? Can I ask you a question? Sure. Is there a threat to capitalism in this country? In this country, a death tax. Isn't the human life more precious than money? Human nature is binary. No, it is male and female. No, it is. Yes, it is. It's death on every cell of your body. And that's basic biology. No, it is. It is. I bet you can't tell me how many genders there are. I'm sorry? Male and female.
No. No, it's not binary. You keep saying that as if it's true. It doesn't make it true.
Yeah, sex isn't binary. It's on a spectrum. There's intersex people.
True. It is true. That's what's in the biology books.
No, that's what's in the Bible.
No, it's in biology. It's also in biology. That's where that comes from. Those
no, it isn't. I can hand you 4,000 biology books that demonstrate that it is not binary.
The reason why.
Okay, I don't really care about any of this. It's just ear cancer. Thanks for that donation, though, Kim.
Undertaking to allow us to solve the Jewish problem in a manner benefiting our national and racial aspiration, and according to the scientific method innovated by Germany in the hands of its Jews. The answer I got was, the Jews are yours, and also the Arabs would not suffice with preventing partition, but would continue fighting until the Zionists were annihilated and the whole of Palestine became a purely Arab state. Kawakji, another Arab leader, said, "We will have to initiate total war. We will murder, wreck, and ruin everything stands in our way, be it English, American, or Jewish." Azam, the Secretary General of the Arab League, said, "This will be a war of extermination and momentous massacre, which will be spoken of like the Tatar massacres of the Crusader Wars." And this was the Arab leadership at that time. Do you now understand my educated guess as to why Lonobox doesn't mention it? At the same time, in the middle of the war, the British left and the Jews declared the establishment of the State of Israel. In the Israeli declaration, it says, "We appeal in the very midst of the onslaught launched against us now for months to the Arab inhabitants of the State of Israel to preserve peace and participate in the upbuilding of the state on the basis of full and equal citizenship. We extend our hand to all neighboring states and their people in an offer of peace and good neighborliness, and appeal to them to establish bonds of cooperation," and so on. I find it extremely noble that in the middle of the fighting, when Arab leaders were talking about the annihilation of the Jews, the Israelis said they want peace, and they acted on it. 160,000 Arabs who didn't participate in the battles against the Jews kept on living in Israel, and the Arabs also acted on what they believed in, and 0 Jews were left alive in areas held by Palestinians. At the end of the video, he asked me a direct question.
But if people like Traveling Israel want to claim that expulsion wasn't at least one of Israel's goals, how does he explain what happened after the war? Because after the war, the majority of the depopulated villages were destroyed, and most of this destruction took place directly at the hands of the Zionist forces after the fighting had ended.
Yeah, why would you let your enemy... Like, yeah, if there's a war, no shit, you're going to try to expel your enemy.
The sites, including Deir Yassin, had new settlements built directly over them. Others became parks, recreational spaces, or military sites. Others were left in ruins. The result, as it was well understood by the leaders, was that it killed off any prospect of the Arab refugees ever returning.
What? Okay.
I'm happy to explain. As Lonobox makes clear earlier in the video,
no, I am no historian.
And it shows. Quoting from a few books and reading them out in a video doesn't make you an expert on a particular point in history. So how do I explain it? Israel, like many other countries such as Syria, Lebanon, Iraq, India, Pakistan, the two Koreas, and in a way the two Germanys, were formed on territories of the French and British empires that collapsed after the Second World War. The same thing happened at the end of the First World War. The multinational empires, the Austro-Hungarian Empire, the German Empire, the Ottoman Empire collapsed and gave rise to the idea of nation-state. As these nation-states were created, millions were killed and tens of millions were displaced, some because of a war, some because of hostilities, and some because they migrated to join their own nations. In the Balkans, some 10 million people were displaced in order to form nation-states in the 20th century. Between Poland and Ukraine, 1.5 million were displaced from 1944 till 1949. Also at this time, about 12 to 17 million Germans were expelled from Eastern European countries, and about 14 million people had to move between India and Pakistan. Millions died in the process. In Israel, 700,000 Arabs had to flee because the Arabs had lost the war that they had started. That's the nature of war, and it was no different in Israel than in the rest of the world. The only difference is that while the Germans and the Poles and the Ukrainians and the Pakistanis and the tens of millions of refugees got on with their lives and stopped calling themselves refugees and weren't attempting to wipe out the land where they ended up living or their neighbors, only the Arabs cling to the title of being refugees while simultaneously carrying on trying to eliminate Israel, and you're paying for it. Here is something absolutely insane. Did you know that there are 2 refugees agencies in the world? One for all the refugees in the world, and another one for the most privileged ex-refugees in the world, the Palestinians. Don't take my word for it, Box. Go ahead and Google UNRWA. And by the way, who took over the houses of the Arabs who fled from Israel? The answer to this question leads to another interesting story that Lonobox might like to look into. There were hundreds of thousands of Jews in Muslim countries. They were loyal citizens who never harmed the Muslims and yet suffered pogroms in Yemen, in Iraq, in Morocco, in Iran. I made a video about this very topic. These Jews had to flee from Muslim countries, and whole Jewish communities were wiped out in the ethnic cleansing carried out by Muslims in almost all countries. Many of the Jewish refugees came to Israel and were settled in the houses left behind by the Arabs. Lonobox ended his video with a warning.
How do we wrap this up? Be careful.
Wanted to know what you think of my latest video? By the way, my content is getting more watchable now, but I had some hot takes in this, I'm sure some of which you'll disagree with, especially from 1853 to 2300 hours.
I'm not watching this whole video. I'm just gonna watch this clip you mentioned.
On a dating app and find some girls your age. I heard they just dropped the $500 Tinder premium package. You should look into that. I know you got bread from this game. You can easily invest $500 into that subscription and find a gold digger who would touch you.
Okay, so that part really rubbed me the wrong way, because let's just say this guy's actually into underage girls, right? You're legit unironically telling them to go find a gold digger his age. And I'm sorry, but that's like telling a gay person to go get their dad to arrange a marriage since they can't pick any girls. And let me just explain why that is, alright? So there are some very few people who are sadly into others who are like half their age. That really sucks for them, right? But meanwhile, there are also some very few people like me, right? Who happen to be mostly into people who are like twice their age. When I was 15, I was into 30-year-olds. And I'm sure if I actually looked attractive, some 30-year-olds might have been into me too. Some people are into rather white girls or black girls, and that's not racist, just like there are guys who are into guys and girls who are into girls, and it's not sexist to be gay. Point is, all of that is some common ground, which is that it's not a fucking choice. You don't control who you're into. That's the same for everybody, very much including me. Now, different people are into different people, and at the end of the day, everyone sort of has to either find someone who suits them, who they're perfect for as well, or move on. And there are some social norms of what's considered socially acceptable or not. Like, for the longest time, if you were gay, that wasn't acceptable. But fuck those people, because in a relationship, what matters is that the both of you are happy together, and the only thing that matters there is consent. So the problem comes when a relationship doesn't have that. But again, on the internet, that was consent by definition, because you both have a block button and don't have to engage with anything anyone else says, including what a Cheeto just said, by the way. I can have a problem with it and ignore it, or I could talk some shit about it like I'm doing here. But I'm not gonna say he abused my feelings. But yeah, this shit always rubbed me the wrong way, because when I was around 13, I started realizing that most of the people I would ever have a crush on, if they would have ever loved me back, they would be considered a predator and I would be considered a victim, when it could easily have been the other way around. Because again, you don't control who you're attracted to. This shit's legit just luck and nothing else, right? So I quickly realized, holy shit, this could have happened to me and there's nothing you could do about it. People just don't like seeing it, but it's not like you could change who you're attracted to. Like, I know what this guy at Cheeto would say, right? If you're a pedophile, go get some help. And sure, if you're actually like a 60-year-old into straight up infants and you have some urge that could make you a dangerous person, that's fair enough, and that's a whole different conversation. But this go get help shit, right? Dude, I was like 13 when I realized, what the fuck were they telling gay people? Oh yeah, gay therapy, they should go get help too. But what do you know, if someone tells you could just go get help to go cure your sexual orientation, it's probably bullshit, right? Yeah, you're into the wrong type of people, go get help. Yeah, I've heard that shit forever, and just considering the fact that since I was 13, I had to hear that shit and realize that could just as well have been me, and I just hate myself even more than I do now, and there's nothing I could be doing about it, that just makes me fucking mad, dude. Again, at 15, I was into 30-year-olds, so I understand the discrimination perfectly. Any girl I would fantasize over, I'd have to live knowing in any world where a dream girl of mine might love me back, any dream girlfriend in the real world would be someone who's constantly suffering from the fact they'd be capable of even loving me in the first place. So me finding love would legit just mean someone's life being absolute torture because of bad luck and nothing else. And it's literally just that, like, it's sick. Now you might say, well, you can't really get consent from a kid, so it's by definition predatory. Well, obviously I've covered this, but in such a relationship, the younger person has to be the one who makes the first move, otherwise yes, it's predatory. You can have 30-year-olds just going around flirting with 15-year-olds they find attractive. That could mentally scar them for life, but in this case, that's actually exactly what happened. The younger person started that shit, and on top of that, if at any point in time she felt uncomfortable, she could just block him. But instead of doing that, she chose to be the predator because she knew she could use her identity, in other words her age, to make her abuse come out as her being the victim. And that's pretty sick, dude. Wait, so the game...
Okay. I don't know what to say about that, but, whatever. Thanks for that donation, dude.
When YouTubers just kind of say things without showing you any proof.
And then he says something without showing any proof.
And if you're wondering where to source your claims from, say about a historical massacre, maybe don't get your opinions from the literal terrorist leader of the group that did the massacre. I mean, that's just dumb.
True, that would be dumb, but I didn't get my sources from the book Menachem Begin wrote. I know that it is hard to tell as I speak perfect Oxford English, but you might realize that I speak another language, Hebrew, and believe it or not, you will find many great sources in Hebrew. I want to finish this video not with a warning, but by saying how much I enjoy doing this. I'm sitting here making.
Well, I would say that is a pretty good rebuttal to Lonerbox's video. I think he is too sympathetic to Palestinians. That is one thing I don't like about him. Alright, I'm gonna go grab the PS5 and we'll play some video games. Jasmine.
Nothing that should help